We are trying to help students take their first step towards building a venture.
Today, who do we have with us? Sohan Balachandran, founder of TimeGrapher. He recently graduated from IIT Mandi.
TimeGrapher started as a community of watch enthusiasts in Kerala. We never wanted to be a brand. Accidentally, we became a brand.
Tell us about the watch. What is unique?
It's the world's first Malayalam chronograph watch based on the Kerala boat races. Some of the dials were individually painted. You can still see the brush strokes. We have more than 94% repeat customers. And the 400 watches, I think we would have sold them out in 12 minutes. And we operate in UAE, in the Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Qatar.
Is he a magician? Or is he an entrepreneur? He's also a student. I was confused. How is he managing all of this?
I do so many things because I have not done anything before that. When you're kicked out of the class, your friends make fun of you.
Let's talk about what enabled it.
Funding is not your problem. I had 4-5 very good batchmates of mine. They had even built me a computer vision model that will track the entire data set.
How will you measure the success?
To me, the most important part is the process. Be open to co-creation.
Students are innately curious. Humans are innately curious.
Curiosity to creation.
What you did was you took your curiosity about watches to creation.
The challenges that you are imagining, they're not real.
People are just afraid to talk. People are afraid to express. You know, when it rains, all the birds take shelters. But the eagles, they don't. They fly above the clouds and avoid them.
We are back at Naarigha University, starting with another round of conversations, cracking the student entrepreneurship. What are we doing? We are trying to help students take their first step towards building a venture. How do you take your first step? You have to know what to do. And unfortunately, right now, the amount of information which is out there only caters to more advanced level of entrepreneurship, but not for those who are students and trying to start up now. And that is what we are trying to create, because we believe in students starting their first venture while studying, while in college, and learning how to do it, and then deciding whether placement or creating a venture, which route to take. So, cracking the student entrepreneurship, and today we have a special guest with us who is a student as well as an entrepreneur. And to make the conversation more centered on the student, we have my co-host and my student, Prerak, who has a lot of questions, the most curious person I've ever known. And he's here to ask the questions from the viewpoint of a student. Let's hear him now.
So, hi guys, we are back here again. Today, who do we have with us? Sohan Balachandran, founder of TimeGrapher. He recently graduated from IIT Mandi. He did MBA Data Science in AI and he was my senior. So, I was really intimidated. I was also confused who this guy is. The guy handles 200 people at once. If he says, look to the left, everyone looks to the left. If he says, look to the right, everyone is doing the same. I was really impressed by his communication skills. And that was intimidating to me. How do I approach this guy? But luckily, it happened that we sat on the same table for dinner that day. And I asked Via, hi Via, how are you? Who are you? What do you do? When did you learn magic and stuff? So this was how this journey began. And then people were saying, talk to Sohan Bhaiya, he's the entrepreneur, he's running a venture, TimeGrapher and all. Then I was confused. This guy is a magician. Is he a magician? Or is he an entrepreneur? He's also a student. So I was confused. How is he managing all of this? So that is what intrigued me to know Sohan Bhaiya more. And from that intimidation to now having this conversation over a podcast. So we are here. And let's start. Sohan Bhaiya, welcome. Tell us more about your journey, your master's program. You went to IIT Mandi, Himalayas. How did this happen? Today you run a community. You say that it is a community, not a startup. You don't see it as a money creating machine.
Yeah.
You see it as a relationship building thing. So let's introduce TimeGrapher. and let's crack the student entrepreneurship.
First of all, thank you so much for having me here, and it's wonderful to see that I went to IIT Mandi without knowing anything. What could be the outcome, and here we are right now, 2 months, not even into my graduation, that all three of us sitting together at middle of, not even middle, even down of the country, all the way from Himachal to Bangalore, here in Reva, talking about us. So yeah, it was wonderful being in IIT Mandi for many reasons, because as I said, being a student, having done my UG, having exposure in doing a few kind of jobs, you don't know what is ahead of you. You haven't seen what is ahead of you. It's all a question mark, that where will this take me? And that is how you approach a problem. But one thing I realize is that unless you take the first step and you start moving forward, then the clarity will come naturally to you. If you have the sense in your head that this is what I want to do, this is the purpose that I want to fulfill. And I think that is what I found in IIT Mandi also. It gave me a lot of clarity. In fact, if you look at TimeGrapher has been there since 2019 as a community. But our major part of growth happened in the period where I was in IIT Mandi.
Okay.
In those 2 years itself, our growth, more than half of our growth happened over there. So, oftentimes people ask, when you are a student and when you're doing something, how can you manage things altogether? But interestingly, in my experience, the time when I was a student, the growth has been phenomenal with the organization as such. So to give an introduction about TimeGrapher, I think so TimeGrapher started as a community of watch enthusiasts in Kerala. And I was always passionate about things mechanical, and I always wanted to go into anything and everything that is mechanical. So that is how I came to know about watches and how these gears work. That is something that has always been interesting, and I wanted to learn more about it. And then we came to the concept of TimeGrapher being a community of watch enthusiasts of Kerala. We never wanted to be a brand, but I always say that accidentally we became a brand. 4,000 watch enthusiasts came together, and we created one of the most finest value for money and the most priced watch for a lot of people who cherish them. So that's how TimeGrapher started, and this was one of our last releases, and hopefully we'll have more releases in the coming years.
Tell us more about TimeGrapher. Tell us about the watch. What is unique? How do you identify with it? You also mentioned you are you're enthusiastic about the moving parts, the mechanics of things, right? So tell us a little bit more so that we understand what really is TimeGrapher and why this watch and how do you do this?
Note, sure. As kids, if you look at your early memories, one of your early memories will be having a lot of toys. And you're very excited when you get a toy for the first week. Second week, what happens? You start pulling it apart.
Right.
By the third week, you will have a 5,000 rupees toy car. You will strip it down to get the 20 rupee electric motor out of it. And then you'll be spinning the motor and you'll be more happy than running the car. So at the end of the day, it is that curiosity to something that moves mechanically and something that you're able to control. That sparks your interest in it. And clocks and watches are something that has been very accessible. It has been there everywhere. So all of us will have some memory associated to a clock or a watch. And for me also, growing up as a kid, these moving things have been very fascinating. Because whenever the battery goes down, you pull a clock and you take it back and you see a lot of gears and systems moving inside. And fortunately, these clocks used to conk off once in every 4-5 years. Then you have a new toy to play around with. And you start opening it and you see all the same gears that you have seen in a car, toy car, when you pulled out. You are able to relate it. So that always made me curious. Okay, so there are gears within these clocks also. Then there should be gears in the watches also. So growing up a bit more, then I realized there are mechanical watches. There are watches which is fully powered by mechanically winding up it. So I came to the realization that watches is something very complex. It is not that how we think of it. Imagine such a small thing on your hand. It has to be precise. It works in all angles. You're wearing it in all occasions, all weather. I wanted to learn more about it. I want to understand how this thing is done. When I got into it is when I realized that it is about high-end manufacturing. The precision standards is way ahead. I would say certain components of a watch is manufactured in more, the precision is 10x of what a jet engine's component is manufactured. That is to the level of refinement you need to make a gear. Micro precision is what you need. Micro engineering is what you require. But now the problem is that, okay, I like engineering, I like mechanicals. What do I do about it? And being a student, the maximum watch you can afford is maybe something for 1,000, 2,000 bucks. And now you're talking about watches that worth lakhs. So what and where? So that is how we, I always try to. So being a student, the biggest challenge you have is that you don't have an income. You are on support. And then how do you carry forward your passion when you don't have support? And for me, the only way that I see is that my only motto in life is that it's not the money that drives me. I want to be able to enjoy things I love. I want to be able to spend time on things that I'm passionate about. If I'm passionate about working on mechanicals, that is my goal. Money is a means. It is a tool for me to get that. That is
your background, you did a BTech?
No, I did my bachelor's in physics.
Physics?
Yes.
Okay. Did you learn about mechanics there?
Yes. In physics, I was mainly studying in classical motion.
Okay.
And then I had a serious interest in quantum mechanics. I did one of my majors in quantum mechanics as well. So the classical motion, how the theory of everything of friction applies together, how inertia is carried down.
Okay.
And then you look into watches, all these things are put into a small coin size thing.
Right.
So that really sparked my interest.
Okay. So, Prak, another thing I wanted to do was, get some numbers about the TimeGrapher out. Tell us about the community. Tell us about the business that you've done so far, so that we are better able to understand where TimeGrapher is now.
So, how TimeGrapher started is something very interesting. I've always been interested about watches, but now there was a problem. So, after my graduation, I started doing some side gigs. I started earning some money. I wanted to buy some watches, and then the problem is that there is nobody I know in my circle who knows about watches. So I do my research on myself by the internet and buy stuff. So then I came to this conclusion, I need somebody to tell me what are the different kinds of watches, where to buy from. So how do I do that? And then I searched on the internet and I found that there are many collecting groups, watch enthusiast groups, where people discuss about watches and all. There are some operational in India, some international, but that's it. I had limited access to it. So now I figured out, if there are so many people in India who are interested in watches, there should be people interested in my hometown as well. I chose my hometown because that is accessible to me. So that is the time I realized, okay, maybe I can start a community of watch enthusiasts where people of similar mindset locally, who is available in Kerala, come to there and just share their ideas. They can support each other, they can mentor each other. But then now I have a problem. Where do I find these guys? How do I find a person who is interested in watches? The first thing I did is that I went to OLX. I looked for watches for sale near my hometown. I scrolled through multiple listings, because whenever I see a good watch listed for sale, I know it is listed by sale by someone who has bought that watch. So if you have bought a decent watch, it means you know something about that watch, right? That was my thought process. So I started calling people and said, hey, I don't want to buy your watch. I just wanted to know, do you like watches? Because it's such a nice watch. Did you randomly buy it, or was it gifted? So many people told me they were gifted, and I came across one guy who lives around 10 minutes away from my home saying that I am crazy about watches. I have more than 50 watches. Whenever I get bored, I list them on OLX.
Okay.
So he said, can I see you? He said, yeah, sure. We went to one quiet day in a coffee shop. I met him. He brought a few watches, and I told him, this is what I want to do. I want to create a community.
Okay.
For watch enthusiasts.
How many watches did you have then?
That time I had hardly 5 or 6 watches.
Okay.
Then he said, sure. And he said, I think I know 2-3 more people who are in Kerala, who are in Trivandrum, who might be interested in watches. So we onboarded them. So now we need visibility. So we started an Instagram handle called TimeGrapher, where we started featuring one of their watches every day. Soon these 4 people of us grew into 10. We grew into 30. We grew into 50. And we made sure that, so I always wanted this community aspect to be there, that people should be able to support each other and mentor each other. Let's say, for example, I'm picking up a watch for 10,000 from somewhere. If you are an experienced buyer and you might know that maybe the value of this watch's value is only 7,000.
Mm-hmm.
So you might tell me, why are you paying 10,000? Pay 7,000 only. Or I have a source. So it was just for the passion. So, but what happened is that when you're speaking of interest, right now we are all talking about entrepreneurship. So there are a lot of similar interests we have. So a person who's interested in watches is naturally inclined towards mechanical things. They can be interested in similar automotive or similar fields. So there are a lot of common things we can discuss about. And because of that common things, what I noticed is that people wanted these meetups to happen. People were starting calling me and asking that when is the next meetup happening?
Mm-hmm.
Because a new group of friendship started over there.
Okay.
So there are people all the way from the age of 22 to people who are 50 coming to my meetups.
Okay.
From college student who may not even have one watch, but he just likes watches. To I had a surgeon, an orthopedic surgeon who had hundreds of watches, and he was also very passionate to come for the initiative meetup because he wanted the youngsters to experience the watch. He was like, I didn't have these watches at my age. So now through me you are getting to experience it. I just want to see that. Because of that people used to come. So then over time, now what happened is that I have an idea of what people like, what people don't like, what is not there in the market. This is where I decided that I want to create something.
Okay.
Now we need to create something. So when we reached 100 members, we announced that we will start our first product or the first watch called Naarigha, which will be the world's first Malayalam numerical watch. So there are a lot of watches available at that time, but nothing ever featured the Malayalam script. So Malayalam has its own script. So now the problem is that I know what is there inside a watch, what are the parts of a watch, but how do I make a watch?
Okay.
So I just again floated this in the group. We are going to do a project. It's called Naarigha. We want to make watches. How do we go? And anyone who can help. And one of my members said, I am a designer. I am a brand designer. I work with brands. I work with illustrators. Maybe I can try. So his name was Dilip. So I got him on board. He was already a member of TimeGrapher. And as a side project, we started designing different iterations. So we came to a design. In fact, in the Malayalam numerical, we did not have a font. Dilip had to manually craft a new font for the entire dial.
Oh, I see.
So now came our first statement, that is, how many watches will we make? Are we going to sell to everyone? Are we going to make something? Are we going to make a lot of money? But to me, the core was that this is a watch that should be made from everyone's input. We want the whole group's, every single individual's input before we make this watch. So we started sharing the designs with people. They started giving us the feedbacks. We came to a final design. Now the thing is that, how do I make it more connected? I don't want this to be just a product that is going to finish your problem statement. If it's a watch, it shows you the time. That's it. But how can you add more value to it? That was what we wanted to do. So the Malayalam numerical is there. Now that's when it came to us. And I was also trying to ideate. And it came to me that there is a time unit in Kerala called Naarigha. Naarigha was the ancient unit of time. So one Naarigha is 22 minutes or 24 minutes if I am not wrong. And that is a time taken by the earth to rotate 6 degrees. So one day consists of 60 Naarigas. So the earth rotates 360 degrees. So imagine this calculation was done centuries back, maybe thousands of years back. So that is when we realized if we put a different set of markings in the dial, the same standard dial can show you time in hours and minute format, and it can show the time in Naarigha format.
Okay.
So we introduced one more sub-dial marking, so which has show the time in 2 formats. So there's a saying in Malayalam called Naarigha ki 40 vattam, which people often use it to mock someone.
Okay.
When you repeatedly keep asking something, people say that Naarigha ki 40 vattam you keep asking, which means that you keep asking 40 times in a Naarigha.
Okay.
So that is where I decided this first watch is going to be limited to 40 units.
Oh, I see.
So the name was Naarigha. Everybody is familiar of the saying Naarigha ki 40 vattam. So look, this is going to be limited to 40 units. And that was the time COVID just happened. And a lot of people, a lot of watchmakers are not doing well. So traditionally, watch dials were hand painted. So we decided this entire project will be not for profit.
Okay.
Because I'm building an MVP over here. I'm also trying to build something new. We reached out to all the watchmakers. we found traditional watchmakers in all parts of India who are working on custom dials. If you look, some of the dials were individually painted. You can still see the brush strokes. So each watch was unique and was numbered to 40 units. So that's how the first watch came about.
So how many units? What is the sale today? What are the numbers today?
Today,
Where are we?
so in the numbers, we have done the first watch of Naarigha, 40 we were sold out. The second was Olam. So I always wanted to keep the watches a bit exclusive, as in we don't want to do mass market.
Yeah.
Whatever we do, we want to do it properly. So we should have watches that are flawless.
Okay.
So that is why we did 40 with Naarigha. When we came to the second watch, Olam, that is the world's first Malayalam chronograph watch based on the Kerala boat races, we did 400 watches.
400.
And to me, the most exciting part is that if you look at the repeat purchase history, we have more than 94% repeat customers.
Okay.
And the 400 watches, I think we would have sold them out in 12 minutes.
In 12 minutes?
Done. We closed the whole thing in 12 minutes in a day. And we currently have we were 45 times overbooked for Olam.
45 times overbooked.
We were oversubscribed.
How much money did you make?
So I'd say the watches were going out at a price. We did a variable pricing model. So
Okay.
the initial batches were going at 13,500 only for our members. Then
13,500.
yeah. Then we had a slot of 15,000, and then we had a slot of 20,000,
Okay.
and a slot of 25,000.
Okay.
So what is this is that the early people who are backing me within the community, they pay 13,500 at least 6 to 7 months prior,
And they get the watch.
and they get their watches. So the ones who are coming late, you might get a watch, but you still just have to pay a bit more. So that wait time is not there. So now what happened is that the watch was made in the highest of standards possible. The design was done in-house. The entire casing, the 3D modeling, everything we have done internally. The watches that we are selling is so much of value for money that a person who has bought the watch for 25,000, now if they try to sell this, they can easily get at least 70 to 90,000.
Oh.
And I have seen
Because
listings.
it's unique.
Yeah, I have seen listings of the watch above 1 lakh in UAE.
Listing on
Different
resale
resale
platforms.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So now
So the highest, what is the highest that you have sold for?
highest.
That you have sold for? Yeah, you've
I don't know. We only done for max 25,000. We've been very clear about it. We did not want to exploit the demand or anything.
Okay.
We've been very transparent on that.
Okay. So the numbers are 40 Naarigha, which is
Naarigha,
just on
400
time
on Olam.
and 400 Olam, which means wave.
Wave. Yeah.
See wave. 94% repeat customer, 45 times overbooked. That's the second
In 12.
model in 12 minutes. In 12 minutes. So that is very. What is the community size now?
So we started off with, as I said, Naarigha happened when we had 100 people on board. Olam, by the time we reached 4,000 people. Because this, whenever the watch comes out, a lot of discussion goes around the watch. And then a lot of people reach out to me saying that we only came to know about this right now. I'm also an enthusiast. So the group get growing. Now we are at a size of 11,000.
11,000. Oh.
We operate in 9 regions.
9 regions of?
So earlier we was only in Kerala in Thiruvananthapuram. So now we have sub-chapters. So we have the Kerala Trivandrum chapter. We have the Kerala Cochin chapter, which is a central chapter. We are working on a Northern Kerala chapter, which will be focused on Calicut. We have a chapter in Bangalore. We are working on a chapter in Delhi. This year we may have we already have a chapter in Mumbai, and we are planning one more chapter in Chennai.
Okay.
Other than that, we operate in UAE, in the Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, and we have a chapter in the UK, and we have one more chapter in the US. And this is all community driven.
Can you give me the timeline? Which year we started, and then when did you do Naarigha and then Olam?
Yeah. So Naarigha was done in 2021.
Okay.
Olam was announced in 2023, launched in 2024.
2024.
Yes.
When did you start your
Community.
MBA at IIT
MBA
Mandi?
we did in 2023.
2023.
The
you
same year
started.
that we announced Olam.
Olam was announced after you
Joined
were
IIT Mandi.
in IIT Mandi. So you were a student.
Yeah.
And you were selling 400 watches under 12 minutes,
Yes.
which were 45 times overbooked.
Yeah.
When did you study?
Same. he traveled so much. If you listen these travel stories, Leh Ladakh, Manali, Shimla, Jammu Kashmir, Agra, I don't know how many places they visit.
तो attendance कम नहीं हुआ तुम्हारा?
No, sir. I was always
He
in
did
Singapore.
business.
हाँ.
He sold these 400 watches.
Yeah.
He also traveled to so many places. He secured a placement. How did you do all this? And attendance was not short.
And I remember, initially, when did we talk first about the watches?
Yeah, watches, I believe, after our, not
See, I taught you finance in the first year,
Yes, sir.
entrepreneurship only in the second year.
Yes.
So did we discuss only when we started the course?
I
on
believe
entrepreneurship
we started
or
only
early?
when we started the course entrepreneurship.
Okay. You only came to me later.
Yeah.
Okay. So by then you had already done the Olam.
No. It's after your course that Olam was launched.
Achha.
The announcement has happened, but the launch was only after the course.
What did you learn in the course which helped?
I have this question written here.
Did anything help?
I
Are we teaching something right?
mean, there are a lot of things that we are doing right because not even just with Olam. Every time I am working on a problem statement, there is 3 letters that comes to my mind.
Okay.
BML.
BML loop. Oh, okay.
Build, measure, loop. I mean, because that is one thing that has, see in entrepreneurship class, it's a very different setup, when you compare to Sir's finance class.
Yes.
Because in finance, you have all the tables, you have all the tallies pages working on the data. And when you come to entrepreneurship, so there are different concepts. You go from the BML, you go from the different personas, you from the product map. And every time you go through something, I'm like, this I haven't done. I cannot relate it to any work I do. The moment you said BML, I'm like, this makes sense.
Okay.
This is something I can correlate because you always build something, you measure how it performs, you come back to it, you take the learnings,
Yeah.
you repeat the cycle, then things get better. And it is when the BML strike me that, okay, changes is required. You need a feedback loop.
Yeah.
You need an L&D loop. So when we came to launching Olam, I started writing down everything we did for Naarigha.
Okay.
From the media launch, from the hosting, the announcements. So I still remember Naarigha's launch, we did it in Kerala. We had a small online webinar. We were done. So for Olam, I wrote down the same things and I'm like, how can I do it better? So Olam is based out of the Kerala boat races. And then my key learning was that I can make the launch even better.
Okay.
So for Olam, the watches are based on the Kerala boat races. For the launch of Olam, we took a houseboat in Kerala, in the backwaters of Kerala. We called all our major members, all our core members from all over the world and India on board for the launch. They came to Kerala. We went for a cruise on the houseboat and that is where we launched the watch.
Okay.
So that itself was enough to communicate what the watch was about. So that I still remember it is from the outcome of BML loop.
Okay. Good. That's good feedback.
So that is one thing I remember. Also, once the course in IIT Mandi happened, so in the initial ones, I was doing my marketing courses. We were doing the POM courses, principles of management and all those things. By hearing management topics every day, after 2-3 weeks, I was also like, okay, so these topics, whatever we are learning right now are things that is doable. It is not like something that is alien to me anymore. So I'm like, maybe now I should start with the second project. That is how we announced, Olam was announced on my first semester break when I went to Canada.
Okay.
And the second semester week, we launched it.
So for a student, Prerak, you tell me, for him, he had done Naarigha, right? One round of 40 watches, and then he comes to the MBA program at IIT Mandi. Then he has courses, and now he can relate much more to BML, to product, right? To marketing, all those management concepts, right?
Yes.
But for a student who has not gone through this, how do you relate to these concepts in the classroom? How does it seem, in an entrepreneurship course? BML loop. What does it mean for somebody who
BML
is not
is
experienced?
yet not taught.
For you, it hasn't come. Yeah, this semester. Okay.
So, but MBA, I think the perception of people who join an MBA, it is to get a good job, get highest, maximize your CTC. So this is the objective with which people join the classes. And then you are introduced to entrepreneurship. People get confused. So the first 2 semesters, I was building my CVs and doing all of this. And Puran sir was teaching maximize shareholders' wealth. money is the king. And then comes this idea, go out and sell, build something. So we get confused.
Yeah.
How will this benefit us? We are not here to build a startup, and we can't build one. We don't have anything. We don't have time, assignments and all. So this is tough, sir, for a normal student to think on these terms.
Interesting. I mean, yeah, that's right. I was also thinking earlier I used to teach only BTechs, right? BTech students, and they have 4 years. And in the first year, probably they're not thinking about placement at least. Maybe they are thinking placement from, even before coming there, but at least when you are in the program, the first thing is, okay, I'm in an IIT, let me explore. Second year, only the third year and so on, then you have internship, then the placement season kicks in. That's when you get more serious about placement. So when I'm teaching second year BTechs, third year BTechs, they are much more open to this idea. They also may have more time. But I also realized that in the MBA program, you guys have so many classes packed, industry talks, and you only have 2 years, right? And at the end of the first semester, second semester, you have to go for industry summer internship, right? And that's very serious because based on that, you will then pick up a job later. I also found it challenging. Should we teach entrepreneurship in the third semester or in the first semester, in the second semester? If I'm teaching in the second year, when do you have the time to reflect on it and actually build a venture, right? So yeah, that is something for all of us to think about. When do we teach the timing of the entrepreneurship course, and for MBA versus for BTech, when do we and who do we teach it to? Should we teach it to? Of course, Sohan says, कुछ तो फायदा हुआ है. BMA loop and all. Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
I'm having 2-3 questions here. So first I'll tell you my theory that I developed. One thing Bhaiya said, curiosity. He was curious about things that are moving. And we have also discovered in previous podcasts.
Just for record, so Sohan is 1 year senior to Prerak. So he was in second year, and then Prerak enters MBA program at IIT Mandi.
I've seen the Olam launch. I've seen your video that you presented to the whole crowd on HIBS, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've seen him do all of this.
And for me, as many students come and say, sir, this startup, that startup. So likewise, he also would have come and spoken, but for 400 watches, this, that. I mean, I would have taken it very casually, saying, yeah, another student trying to start, great. And I would try to encourage as much as I can, but I didn't know these details.
I think the first time I came to you was when I was wondering that after your finance classes, I had a question that I did 40 watches. How do I legally account for 400?
I remember the money. Where should I take the money? In my account? I remember I routed you to Shantanu there.
Then you connected to me, Shantanu, the legal person.
Great. Now I remember it. He was like, कि sir, वो पैसा कहाँ लेना है? This is, 4 lakh रुपए, tax, right? My account, company's account. What does it mean? Yeah, now I recall that conversation.
Yes. These are student questions. Tell us what happened then.
So then, sir connected me to his Shantanu.
So his question was, first of all,
how do, from dealing from 4 lakh on a project, I'm starting to look at a total of around 7 to 8 crores. A huge sum of money flowing in at multiple points.
Right.
So how do I deal with this? How do I account with this? Even if initially I'm taking a booking amount, a booking amount of 5,000 itself for 10 vouchers is 50,000 rupees. For 100 vouchers is 5 lakh. I'll be looking at 20 lakh rupee. What do I do? So then sir connected me to Shantanu. So I was talking to Shantanu. He walked me through all the legalities, the registrations, the compliances and everything. So I also figured out this is going to be very expensive for me, but I still need to figure a way out. So that is the time when I remember this company called Delhi Watch Company, which is a good friend of mine who has also started this company as a student. So his name is Anish. So I call up Anish and Anish says, Anish, this is what I want to do. He's like, of course, great idea. I'm like, what do I do? I mean, I have to do the compliances. And then he's like, I am already compliant, no. So I said, so you do it under our banner.
Okay.
You register your firm, but we can still support you.
Okay.
We are already an LLP. Okay. And then Shantanu said, okay, this makes sense because now you guys can collaborate together for this project. We are already a legal entity. You can do it through their channel.
So you put the money in their bank account?
So they and us, we TimeGrapher we came together for a partnership on this project.
Okay.
So the issuing was done by their end.
Okay.
And then we had to slowly separate ourselves with all the money and all the learnings we had to a different entity.
Okay.
And this, see, no other brand would collaborate with another upcoming project. But in this thing, the first thing he saw us, he was like, sure, we can work together.
Okay.
No, we'll work on this. No worries, I'll support you in every way I can. So after the project, even now we are great friends. We see whenever possible. And in fact, before coming here also, I just got a call from him and he was like, why don't we look at a new brand entering the UAE markets?
Okay.
You do in your 50, I'll put in my 50. We'll do it together. Works fine. So that is how the entire thing went from there. And then I came to your entrepreneurship program also. So nothing was structured before that. We only have a societal registration. We only have this much people. We are a
The community is a society?
Initially,
it's registered?
Yeah, it is registered as a society under the Travancore Societies Act.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
how do you register?
So you can register any kind of society under different acts in Kerala, and we have the Travancore Society Act. So under that you register as a community, as a passion community. There is a treasurer, there is a secretary, there is a president. So all these things are on record. And then when we have an entity, we have making money, we have to go to an LLP. So that is how we worked out. And recently, before the launch of Olam itself, we got all our copyrights, trademarks, everything licensed because we wanted to protect our own.
So did you, so society is a group of people who come together for a purpose?
Yes.
Not for profit?
Not for profit.
They pool in the money?
Yes.
And it has a legal status?
Yes.
It is registered in the Societies Act?
Yes.
Okay. Right?
Yes.
And there is a president of the society?
Yes.
There is a
secretary,
treasurer?
Yeah.
And there is a group of members?
Yes.
A special name for that?
Initially, there is an executive committee.
Executive committee.
Yeah.
And these people are, so what is the goal of the society?
So the only goal of our society is to enhance the love for watches.
Right.
Spread.
Promoting watches and watch love and bringing people together.
Yes.
Where does the money come into the society?
It's all contributions, voluntary contribution, or through our projects. Also, we do a lot of events. Events as in watch events for other brands. So we collaborate with a lot of watches brand all the way from Timex to Rado.
Okay.
So for the event also, they support us financially for the events.
Got it. So now, so I'm cutting you off, but now we get the money into the society's bank account. Now this money
is seed fund for the projects.
Seed fund from the project, and if you make more money, can you pay yourself out of that?
Yeah, you can.
The members, all of the members can pay themselves.
Yeah.
So what is the difference between a society and a company?
So only thing is that in the society, you don't own any other assets as such. You only can take an operating salary, which is also it already has a cap. You can't move beyond a certain cap. So if you want to expand, also if I want to do a project, let's say I want to associate with SECO. SECO is not going to associate with a society.
Right.
They want an entity.
Now you can't do partnerships with other entities. Yep. You want to build business with others. You want to go for profit and all of that. That is society structure of organization will sort of not let that happen. So did you convert the society into the LLP?
Society is still there.
Okay.
It is operating as a different entity. The LLP is we are already firing only for the launch.
LLP is limited liability partnership.
Yeah. What is that?
Limited liability partnership. First of all, partnership, two people coming together, more than two people coming together, writing on a piece of paper. You put in money, I put in money, and we will do this business. Profit comes, X% your, 100 minus X% mine.
Yes.
This is partnership. But if the business goes bad, then who pays whatever the dues are and how much? So the liability to pay to those to whom we owe as a partnership firm, who will take that responsibility and how much? So we will take the responsibility for your partners, but how much? So limited liability means only to the extent agreed upon on the paper.
On the papers.
So that the creditors don't come to my house and start picking up my furniture and my car and so on. So limited liability partnership is what you did for Time. So TimeGrapher is a LLP now.
LLP.
Who are the other partners?
So there are some of my co-founders who were from the initial days of TimeGrapher itself. So they all work together with us. So right now we are trying to come into another firm that incorporates me, TimeGrapher, and a few other watchmakers
Hmm.
so that we can jointly work on new projects together.
Okay. So I think where we started this thread was, we were saying you collaborated with Daily Watch Company, and you took money in their account, and then you said, okay, wait a second. You started a society. From society, now you have to do a business. Earlier, you were only promoting watches.
Yeah.
Now you have to build a watch and sell it. So let's form an LLP. So you got some friends
Yep,
together,
yep.
and you registered an LLP. And then you launched the first watch in partnership with Daily Watch Company.
No, the first watch was done internally because the cap was only under 4 lakhs.
Okay.
Second watch, when
Internally within the LLP.
within the society,
Society only. Okay.
because it was very small value.
Okay.
But the second one is where we had to increase the threshold.
Okay. So when you partnered with them, where did the money go? In your LLP's account or in their account?
There, because
In
that
there.
time they were already fully functional.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Understood. So that's how. Interesting. I remember that time now.
Yeah.
Finance class, and after he says, so where do I take the money?
Yeah.
I think 8 and ground floor.
Yes,
30.
yes, yes. And my question was that my money is going to come within 2 months at max, and I have to figure it out before that.
Yeah.
So I have this question where you started this society. Before it is a community. You started a community for watch enthusiasts who have a love for watches. And you grew from 0 to 2 to 50, then 100.
Now 11,000 here.
Now 11,000. But I still want to come to the initial part. Where was this community? With 100 people, how were you managing communication? Where is this society?
Right. We are right now trying to build a
Yeah.
community, of student
Okay.
entrepreneurs or aspiring student
Right.
entrepreneurs and guests, right?
Hmm.
So how did you build the community? How do you keep them engaged?
Yeah.
I
We have
love to know that.
WhatsApp channel. Is it through WhatsApp or through Instagram? So where are these people?
We have 3 main modes.
Hmm.
We have an Instagram channel, we have a Facebook group, and we have a WhatsApp.
Hmm.
So in the WhatsApp, we have chapter groups for each region. That is Trivandrum, Cochin, Bangalore, UAE. We have different regional groups, and we have a central group.
Hmm.
That is where all the main instructions or the discussions happen. So to become a member, it's not like somebody messaged me saying that, hi, I'm interested in watches. Can you add me to the WhatsApp?
Hmm.
No, we don't do that.
Okay. How do you?
Because we want to make sure that the people who are coming on board is passionate and has an intent for the watch.
Okay.
Secondly, the watch world is a very big world. So we don't want somebody who has a lot of money to throw away on watches and would disrespect any other watch brand or any new beginner. We don't want that. We want it to be a very open environment where people can all come together. So what we do is that we have local chapter heads for each chapter. So let us say tomorrow Prerak is reaching out to me saying that I'm from Cochin, I want to join your group. So we'll connect Prerak to our local chapter head. The local chapter will have events, that is meetups, happening once in a month. So the local chapter head will add Prerak to the local group, and they will tell you in advance, this day this meetup is happening, this event is happening. So naturally, if you are a person who is interested, you will come for the event. So we'll give it 6 months of time. We'll see how many events Prerak is attending, and after 6 months, the chapter head recommends who all should be onboarded as a TimeGrapher member. So if the chapter head is saying that from the last 6 months, I would like to recommend Prerak because he's been active and he's getting along with the group fairly well, then we go for a registration form where your details are collected, a membership ID is given, and Prerak is officially onboarded as a TimeGrapher member. So now what happens is that you go from the Cochin group, the local group, to the TimeGrapher group, where members from all around the world are there. And these the members all over the world are very similar to you. Because you came through a filtration process with a similar interest.
Yes.
And in this group, you will find people who are 20 or 17 who just got out of a school, all the way to people who are venture capitalists, who are investors, who are in movie productions, who are consultants, who are doctors.
But have one thing in common.
One thing in common, the passion for watches, the love for watches.
How many chapters do you have?
Chapters.
Yes.
Currently 9.
9 chapters, 11,000.
Yeah.
So what do you have to do to handle these chapters?
So right now we also have a core group. A core group is where all the regional heads are there, the chapter heads are there. So right now,
how many regions?
So all the 9, the 9
you
chapters.
mentioned earlier,
Yeah,
okay.
and each chapter has around 3 chapter heads. So we are looking at 27 chapter heads.
27 chapter heads.
Tell us the story about the first chapter head that you had.
So,
When was it? How big
first
was
chap-
that community
the
happen?
first chapter head is a person called Nishad. So Nishad is the one I met on OLX for the watch.
Hmm.
So Nishad, I met him. So we chatted the chapter. So I told Nishad, you be the chapter head. Then we met one more guy called Sham. So Sham was onboarded.
Hmm.
So I told both of them, you both are the chapter heads, you have to be there. So they were like, okay. So the problem is that both of them are working professionals.
Hmm.
And I am a 20-something guy.
Hmm.
So I'm like, how do I tell them? So I just request them, bro, can you please come this day, this event is happening.
Okay.
And out of my surprise, they were more active than me.
Okay.
And since they were all professionals,
Regional careers, yeah.
the
Right.
regional community is there. And since they were all professionals,
Uh-huh.
they themselves were like, okay, we'll start maintaining a tab of people who attend. Event is at 6, we
Hmm.
close by 6:30, and even before after 6:30, we would encourage them.
Yeah.
So things were structured now.
Hmm.
Things were getting structured. And the more the community grew, it got more structured because the number of professionals coming in is increasing and increasing.
Right.
So I would say, people usually ask me, how do you manage your cost? How do you give such a product at such a price?
Hmm.
Then I go back and think, and I realize we are able to do this because whenever I talk about Olam as a project, the people involved in the development of Olam are all the way from senior consultants to design engineers,
Okay.
and everybody is coming within the group. So if a full entity was supposed to do this, imagine the kind of cost that will be involved.
Right. Absolutely. So exactly, for guests, we now have 2 regional conveners who are much more senior, 20, 30 years into academics or incubation.
Okay.
Dr. Aparna from
NMIMS.
NMIMS,
Okay.
Navi Mumbai, and Dr. Lakshmi Meera from Forge Accelerator, Kumaraguru Group. Both of them, very senior, and they are taking guests to new levels, within their regions, and without much, any push from my side, and they've done more than what I could ask from them. So we are following the right methodology then.
Community guided.
Yes.
Community, yeah.
So in fact, I believe community is one thing that we are not using that much,
Hmm.
because in our country, if you look at it, we have such a diverse population. Our market is too big. So everyone who wants to create something, they will just focus on what is one thing I can just sell to everyone
Hmm.
for X amount of rupees and collect the maximum amount of returns.
Hmm.
They don't care how this product is going to affect the other person's life
Hmm.
or bring about a change in their lives. If I talk to somebody that this is a watch in Malayalam, it is based out of Kerala boat races, it has Malayalam numericals, they'll be like, okay, interesting. Now imagine a person living in Middle East as an Indian expat for the past 25 years,
Hmm.
wearing the same watch, and he talking to a person he meets. Every time he glances at his wrist, this is the only connection he has to back home. This reminds me of his home.
Hmm.
So there is a lot of emotional and value addition that is doing to their life as a watch, not just showing time,
Mhm.
but keeping them connected, keeping them to their roots.
Let's bring this conversation back to college. See, what we are doing is, Sohan, we are trying to help student entrepreneurs. So we've understood a lot about TimeGrapher,
Yeah.
and we've understood the journey that you have taken. We started talking about college courses. Let's talk more about, as a student, you're running a side venture. We've been building guests for quite some time now, and Prerak is so busy. If I have to meet him, he has classes. When he doesn't have classes, I have a class. I have meetings. I have other things, right? And then he has to go to the gym, and he says, "Let's meet at 9 p.m." And I'm like, "No, now family time, right?" So as a student, you are so busy, right? And you have events in the college as well. You have friends. You want to explore the region where you are in as well. So how do you find time for a side venture? How did you balance the studies with your hobbies, with your friends, and the venture?
So if you look at the entire timeline of TimeGrapher, the growth as the community wise has been very strong, but the product wise, obviously I could have done a lot more products in the last few years.
Okay.
And instead of doing one release in 2 years, I could have did one release in every year. But to me, then the problem is that obviously the time I need to spend on that increases. You are more prone to mistakes when you do things one back to back.
Hmm.
So another thing that I personally, this could differ from person to person, I don't want to push something so much that I have to spend 19 hours of my day on that.
Okay.
I will do it if I have a deadline to meet, if I have a product to finish. But I don't want my everyday to be like that. If today, if I take funding from somebody for TimeGrapher and I say that tomorrow I'm going to start expanding and I want to spend my whole day, it doesn't make sense to me, because to me the entire journey is about learning also. It's not just about doing.
Okay.
If you do something 6 hours, 10 hours a day, where do you get to learn it?
Hmm.
So from 2019, I've been very particular. I have this much time of my day to dedicate for this project, for this venture. So now it is up to me to figure out how I can structure it in such a way that I can still get everything done within this time frame.
Okay.
So I would say in 2019, whatever time I was spending for TimeGrapher, I'm spending the same right now.
Hmm.
The only difference is that now I have force multipliers within my structure, so that I'm able to get a lot more done. And I feel if I, as a student, if I have not done this, I might have not made it. Because now you start pushing yourself more. You have classes, you have sessions, you have your deadlines to meet, you have your assignment. And then on the side, you cannot work 12 hours on a building a venture. So I feel it should be something gradual, up to your pace, how much you want to dedicate. And the biggest thing is that, are you ready to wait for it? Are you patient enough to build it like that? That is one thing that I think people also lose that perseverance somewhere. They were like, if I don't get a result in 4 months or 5 months, what's the point? To me, my learning has been that results are good when you take time. You focus on instant results. You might do it once, you might do it twice, you will not do it every single time. So it's striking a balance between how much time do you want to dedicate for this project.
It also is once a year launch, right?
Now it's twice.
Twice a year.
Yeah. No, sorry, once in 2 years.
Once in 2 years.
Yeah.
So 4,400, after that there hasn't been any launch.
There hasn't been. So what we did is that now we strike a very different, interesting model. So this is all things that comes to you through your journey. If I never started like, okay, this is what you will do. So now TimeGrapher has one launch in 2 years. It's limited. It's very hard for people to get it other than the community. Not on purpose, because if I do more than 400, I do 4,000, I won't be able to provide it at this cost, at this quality. My QC will have to change. My scale of operations will have to change. And then, as I said, being a student, I won't be able to dedicate my time for 4,000 watches. So that is why I capped it at 400.
And you had a community, na? In that community, you had so many people with that expertise. Design got done, manufacturing got done. You co-created with other people. Bank account, So, yeah, I think that's a very interesting model for students. If you're able to.
My next question.
I think we'll miss on to this question. So, once I have one launch in, once in 2 years. So now I found a problem. There are people who love watches, but they can't find time to dedicate for a community. Fair enough. People could be working in very different conditions. It's not that someone can come for a weekend meetup or be a part of a community. Sometimes there will be people who love watches, but they are not used to mingling with people, or they are not that extroverted. It's a very decent problem statement. So now what I figured is that, how can we make more people experience the TimeGrapher watches in our current scale? So that is when we figured out we can partner with existing watch brands who are into full-time watch manufacturing. For every year, one launch a watch designed by TimeGrapher. It's going to be called a TimeGrapher edition. So I have the capacity to design and implement a watch that is going to connect to the market, because we know the market, we know the pool. They have the scale to manufacture and deliver. So now every alternate year, when we don't have a release, we are partnering with existing watch brands to do a large scale release. In this September, one watch is supposed to launch. It will launch, and we are looking at quantities of minimum 4,000 to 8,000 units.
Okay.
So that will let the masses experience the watch as such. A person who is not into communities or anything, still they can also experience.
This is a strong lesson in co-creation.
Yes.
As a student entrepreneur, you don't have enough time. You have courses to handle, grades to handle, events to handle, and so much more. He's co-created with a community, which is the most interesting thing. How do you balance? He's balanced it by
Adding manpower.
adding manpower and all part-time. Very similar to what we are doing in guests. We were talking about it earlier. Borrowing manpower and their interest, their expertise, because their interest is in the watches.
Yes.
They would like a new watch to come out.
Yes.
We would love for student entrepreneurs to come out, and there's so many people who want that.
Yes.
If we bring them together, we will bring about the next wave of student entrepreneurship.
Yeah,
You had a question, Prerak.
Community. Let's go to the initial phases of a student. We were all babies. Right. From our childhood, students are innately curious. Humans are innately curious from our childhood. You had a knack for moving objects. You liked watches more. I liked maybe people more. And everyone has a knack for something. Something, I want to connect over this thing. IPL के matches. Mumbai Indians, तेरी favorite team है? मेरी भी वही है. Gaming, do you play PUBG or Valorant? मैं भी खेलता हूँ. तो ये अपने अंदर है तो है, curiosity तो है. What you did was you took your curiosity about watches to creating one. And to create this thing, you built a community. Because you were not able to figure it out alone. Yeah. You didn't get answers to those questions about watches in your close neighborhood. Right. But you didn't stop. Your curiosity took you to OLX and to the owner of that watch. And then you found the first community member. So this curiosity, first thing, we all are innately curious. Every founder that we talk says कि curiosity से हमने build किया, हम हिमालय चले गए देखने की क्या build करेंगे. तो ये curiosity तो innate है. अब how do we? This is a question for all of us as facilitators of student entrepreneurship. Curiosity को creation तक कैसे लाए?
Yeah, let's ask Sohan again. Curiosity to creation. What factors played the role, or maybe what factors stopped you from taking this curiosity to creation?
Okay.
Let's talk about what enabled it.
Okay. So right now, if I just rewind myself 6 years back, before we started TimeGrapher, before we started anything, this always, to me, I've been curious about moving objects, I've been curious about mechanical things. And I always inherently had a feeling that whenever I think of creating something or doing something new, it just excites me. Okay, I have that excitement always in my back. I know that. Whenever I do something new, it excites me. But now, how do I reach there? How do I get myself to create something? So, TimeGrapher was launched in 2019, but the first thing that being a student is that you need the financial support. You need a cushion. You need a confidence.
Okay.
So, I think one area we did not discuss much is that being a magician. So, of course.
Right. Sohan is also a magician.
I'm yet to figure out what he actually is. Is he a student? Is he a magician? Is he an entrepreneur?
See,
I'm waiting for a rabbit to come out of his pocket or something.
So,
right. Okay.
So, being a magician.
So, you're saying cushion, you're saying money.
Yes.
Let's talk more about it. What enabled curiosity to creation?
So, being a magician, I was performing from the age of 10. Around 18, 20, I used to do shows. So, that is the time when I figured out that I need money to support myself as a cushion. So, what do I have with me? I'm a performer. I'm a magician. Do I perform? Then why don't I do a magic shows to make money? I started going to small gigs. So, normally, how do you do magic? You do magic on stage on birthday parties. So, this is 10 years back. I myself I remember going to one of the Taj in Kerala. I told them, why don't we start performing magic over here for your restaurant? And they said, we don't need a magician. Why do we need a magician? I said, you do one thing, you don't pay me. Let me perform for 2 days. If you feel I'm good enough, you take me. They said, okay. So weekends I used to go. I performed for their table. They loved it. Because no other hotel was offering this. And the people were also like, okay, this is very engaging. So they said, okay, you start working with us. And I was working for almost, at one of my peak times, I was charging 5,000 rupees an hour. To me, that was enough to support myself. So now my income is not my problem. My next thing is that my learnings. Where do I learn from? whom do I learn from, what to learn from. And once you have this confidence of getting money or making your livelihood, that just tells you that you do now what you like.
Becho,
Becho.
Siko.
Once you taste that.
Becho, Siko. Once you taste bread. But also, with money, Prerak always keeps telling me, I need to make money, I need to make money. I'm telling him, don't chase money. Money will follow.
Yep.
But I'm beginning to realize that maybe, we have to get the students in the habit of seeing small money,
Yes.
handling small money, right? Making small money, and so that idea of money is so far away, money is so difficult to get, that vanishes, and then you focus on what you said,
Yes.
which is now money is taken care of.
Yeah.
Money can come, I can get it, and I can handle it.
Yes.
Now, what is the bigger creation that I can engage myself in?
I need that cushion.
You need that
I
question.
need that cushion, but I want to do this. Creation is my passion.
Right.
See, money, the way we see it is also a problem. A lot of people see that money is the solution to everything. You get money, you can buy yourself, you can afford anything, that is the solution. But what we fail to see is that money is a tool.
Hmm.
It is not a solution. It is a tool for you to find your solution or get things that you want to do.
Hmm.
The moment you start earning money as a student in a very early age, you start realizing that, okay, this is a tool. It is not anything more. So once that tool comes in, using that tool, you can unlock skills, you can unlock a lot of potential that you wanted to. So that is how things have worked. And to me, I always believed that from a very early age, I had this realization money is a tool. I might be wrong, I may not be right. That is all up to different perspective. But the way I see it, so far it's been working for me. So I've seen money as a tool. So whenever I get an opportunity, the first thing I look onto it is that, okay, is it something that is going to help me create something or align with my interest? So that is one thing I always look for. It's not the money part. Am I going to learn something? If somebody is going to pay me 5 lakhs a month just for sitting in a call center and looking at the calls and saying, hey, what is your problem? Look at an FAQ and read the answer. There also I'm learning something. But how much will you learn? If somebody is not paying me anything, but they're telling me, you come sit with me in my office, I have a restaurant. You will learn how a restaurant works. Very good. Fine. At least I'll get to learn how that thing works. So exposure is something that I always craved. And once you have money coming through some other side, you can expose yourself. And once
you remember we did an activity in the course, an assignment where you had to build something and then sell it, right?
Yes.
And make money.
Yes.
How much money did you make?
I don't know how much money we need, but I think we were the second most that who made money at that point of time. But we had a lot of pending orders. If we have fulfilled everything, we would have made more money than everyone else.
Which team was this?
We were making this paintings and all, me, Ashit and all together. And we have sold it to all the seniors.
Making money. How can we do this more in the course? When we teach entrepreneurship, how can you think of models? We have one, of course, Mandi model, right? Can you tell us how else can we help students get some money so that they're in the habit of saying, yeah, money, okay, fine. What is the bigger creation?
So right now, one thing is that if I'm put in a group of 10 people or 5 people, let's say, and I'm asked to create something, see, 5 people coming to one single point itself is a huge task.
Deciding which idea
so
to
for
first.
me, for TimeGraphers, for the co-founders, I found them. I searched them. I found the people that I want to have on board. If I'm given 3 other people who has nothing to do with watches, when I'm asked to make watches, I can't do that.
That's why I asked him, why don't you take a watch, make it Himachal version and then take it to the state government and, I see the answer now. So other people were not interested in watches.
They can't do that. So let us say there's a person who watches a lot of anime.
Yeah.
So that person might be interested to make t-shirts of anime characters or might be interested to do something in that domain. So I think the first thing we need to figure is that if we have a batch of 100 people, we need to ask them that if what is the thing that you're most passionate about? Many people will say sports. Many people will say I watch F1. Many people will say that I like cooking. Some will say I'm into photography. Now you group all these people together, all the people who like photography together, all the people who like cooking together, and now you say that now you build something and sell and make money in what interests you. So now naturally itself they'll have a lot of ideas because you're passionate about it. So it's much more easier. Else in the group, one guy wants to do something with photography, other guy wants to cook, other guy wants to watch anime. Nothing aligns.
Yeah.
This is one thing that we should do. We should group people with similar interests together so that they can come on a problem statement and something that they're all knowledgeable about. Without knowledge, you cannot sell anything. You cannot create anything. It is as simple as that. Even right now, a lot of new watch brands are coming. So some brands have called me as a consultant. They talk to me. So whenever I ask them, what do you want to do with your brand? They're like, this is our budget. This is our cost. We want to sell this much of watches. So I'm like, what kind of watch do you want? The brand owners themselves do not know what kind of watches are there, what goes into watches. They simply want to hire a consultant and run the whole thing. By that model, you can make money, but you're not going to sustain. You're going to collapse the very next day. In fact, when you look about watches, there are different types of watches. Mechanical watches, there are quartz watches that is powered by a battery. There is one movement by Seiko called Seiko Spring Drive, where they combined a battery and a mechanical movement together. It took them 25 years to develop that movement, and they burned almost, I don't know the exact official tag, but I'm told Seiko spent close to 35 million on developing that movement. So once when I met a Seiko official, I asked him, so why would Seiko make such a movement? It's not cheap also, it's expensive. What he said is that, one, because we can. Two, somebody needs to innovate. If we are always being the user, just using what is there in the market, you're going to hit saturation at one point. So we have our people who are passionate about watches, then we need to keep innovating. Today this movement is expensive. Maybe 10 years down the line, it will become cheaper. It will lead out to something new. And to innovate, you need a group of people who are passionate about the thing you are working about.
Okay.
इन दिस कन्वर्सेशन हमें वही तो अपना रोल क्लियर है. वीडियोस के बाद एक एक्शनेबल जाना चाहिए स्टूडेंट्स के लिए. अब स्टूडेंट से एम्पैथाइज करें, अगर हमारे पास कुछ ना कुछ सर पैशन तो होता ही है. लाइक भैया सेड ना, अगर तुमने कुछ क्रिएट करना है, क्रिएट सम ग्रुप्स जो लोग पैशनेट है बिल्कुल फोटोग्राफी के लिए. मिक्स नहीं होना चाहिए उसमें, फोटोग्राफी के लिए पैशनेट. अब तुम बिल्ड करो कुछ. अब इनका पैशन था वॉचेज में, मेरा पैशन गेमिंग में था सर. अब अगर मुझे मौका मिले, इफ आई हैव अ कम्युनिटी ऑफ गेमर्स and I'm also able to earn some money out of it, livelihood out of it, तो मैं वही करूँगा ना for lifetime. That is my community, and I have seen those communities online. I have met people internationally. तो this community वाला, when students are there ना, उनका passion है कुछ ना कुछ. But मैं game कहाँ से खेलूँ? मेरे को मम्मा पापा मना करते हैं, गेम खेलूँगा पढ़ाई नहीं होगी. But if I build a community out of it, if I start enterprising this community, तो मेरी तो livelihood बन गई.
Good question, good question. Let's go into it. Societal context.
Yeah.
Parents, friends, peer group, teachers, right? UG to KG, yeah?
KG to UG, UG to PG.
one person is always with you,
Yeah.
right? Teachers are there, parents are there, your peer group is there. So how do these people react to you? Now you're saying कि community बनाएंगे, you know, similar likes and let's get together, figure something out if you follow the model that you have, right? But what is your parents' reaction? Then we'll go to teachers, we'll go to students. Let's talk about this.
I mean, so fortunately, in my family, my mother has been working, she was in the government service. My father has also been the accounts officer in a private service. So both of them have seen people scale, people do businesses. And my mother has been a constant support for anything and everything. As in, from my early childhood, she was never a person who would come and tell me, you do this, you do that. She'll always tell that, I won't tell you what to do. I want you to decide for yourself.
Okay.
Whatever you want to do, it is up to you. I'm there to support. You think this is, even when right now when I left the campus and I took up the job, I called my mother and I asked, what do you think I should do? And the most interesting thing she said is that, do what your heart says is right. If you can be happy with it, if you can make peace out of it, that's the only thing that matters. If you are unable to do that, you come home, we'll figure out something.
Okay.
So this is what she has always been saying. And because of that, whenever I started with the community and people are saying, "Hey, why are you looking into watches and all?" I'm like, I don't care.
Who are those people?
I mean, there are a lot of people, as in, it could be even your very distant friends. It could be even your close friends. Your close friends are your best critics. They'll be like, why watches? Why not something else?
And how do you react?
So I'm like, this is what I want to do. And for me, being, a magician helped a lot, I guess. Because, because when you're always performing, if you're a singer, you sing on the stage, you leave. You're a magician, you're always questioned. The moment you do a magic, people will be like, show me your hands, show me this thing. So I think I've been very used to facing those criticisms. So I'm like, this is how it is, this is how I do.
Okay.
But one thing I noticed is the moment they see results, the moments they see that you are getting noticed, you are doing something, then people will start appreciating you. And then I'm like, this is the same person who told me 2 years back, why are you even doing this?
So they change their statements then.
Yeah. So I always have this in mind whenever someone comes to me and says that, why are you doing this? Or somebody criticizes me in not a constructive way. I always look for a feedback, as in, is there anything that I can do? But there are some people who will keep giving you criticism only not in non-constructive ways. The moment it happens, I just look at them, I just make a mark in my mind saying that you will change your opinion. And I'm very sure.
So for you, parents were supportive.
My parents were supportive, and at least they were not a barrier. At least they were like, okay, you do what you want.
Okay. But it doesn't happen for everyone.
It
doesn't happen for everyone, right? We were talking to Himi yesterday.
Oh, yes.
Right? Parents go to the extent, even if you want to work for a startup, parents are like, हम छोड़ के आते हैं वहाँ, कहाँ है company? Show us. Where is the contract letter? Is it real? Right? That happens. What stories have you heard? Parents. Yeah.
Social status. The conversation that we had in the morning.
Correct.
छोटी कंपनी के लिए काम करेगा, इतना सब कुछ करके बड़ी कंपनी के लिए काम करेगा, उनको देख वो क्या कर रहे हैं. तो स्टार्टअप इसमें तो कुछ है ही नहीं, स्कोप ही नहीं है इसमें.
So parents' social currency is going out, morning walk, evening walk, sitting in the park, neighbors, friends, and boasting. My son is in Google, in TCS, big names, which the world knows. But nobody knows that Google and TCS and all these companies are also startups, right? That's how they started. How do we change this mindset? How do we make, either starting up or working with startups, proud social currency for parents?
See, it all depends on the outcomes. Why would somebody say that my son is working for Google? One, Google is a renowned name. Okay. Second, what? They believe that if it's a big MNC, they pay you better. So you are at much better disposal. Your quality of life is better. So let us say that you do work on a startup, but at the end of the day, after 3 years or 4 years, if you are able to bring outcomes, that's all. That's all that matters in our society. So how we can change the mindset is that it has to start very early, and it's very simple. The way I see it, whenever me and my mother has a small disagreement on something, there's this usual line that I put her. I'll tell her that, and usually she uses it to defend. She says that you cannot change the 60-year-old me.
Okay.
You are 20-something, so you change. So I would say that change has to start from a very early system. And with the family, if I have to do it on my own, if I'm doing this thing on my own, of course they may not be convinced. But if I have a group of people with me, if I have a community, if I have a mentor system, and if a mentor is able to say that, even Google started up like this, then people will start to see things differently. Often what happens with people is that they feel, what if we left out? What if we are cornered? What if only our son is going for a startup and he's coming up with some weird idea? But then you reinforce them, showing that, okay, see, this is not the way it is. This is, everything starts as a startup. I'm a industry mentor. I've been in the industry for so long, and I think your son is on the right path. I don't think any parent would not like hearing somebody else say that your kid is on the right path. So that we should actually hear, reframe, show them the different perspective, and reassure them with the facts that this is what it is. Then that perspective can change.
Let's do that right now. Talk to parents via. People are watching.
No, I think if I ever cross 500 CR in the next few years, I can say that. At this point, I don't think I should be saying that.
So, yeah, another worry in the parents' mind. Another thing that they want is, again, we had an interesting conversation this morning. There is marriage market.
Yeah.
Somebody has to marry off their daughter. Some parents have to look for bride for their son. In the marriage market, what is valued today? Again, these big names. My son is working with such and such large company. He has this much package, right? As an entrepreneur, you don't stand there. At least when in the early years, right? In the first 5 years, you're nowhere. In some cases, it takes 10 years, right? And there are many setbacks as well. Same thing can happen in a profession also.
Yes.
In a job also. You may not be doing well, but nobody sees that. There is a guarantee of, money will come every month. In entrepreneurship, it will come once. A lot of money after a certain point, still very risky. May or may not. But in the marriage market, they want to be able to proudly say, this is the package, this is the company.
Yep.
And now there is a bride as well. Their parents and, mothers look for something else, fathers look for something else, and the bride itself looks for something else, society looks for something else.
Yeah.
What about that? You're not married yet.
Yeah, not married yet. And I don't think I might be getting married in the coming few years either.
Because you're an entrepreneur or because of other reasons?
See, to me, I've seen marriages. I've been the youngest in my family. So my brother is 10 years elder to me. My eldest cousin must be 30 years elder to me. So it could be ideological difference also. See, the way I see is that, it's not about getting somebody who's in a very good position to live with you. Maybe I can be working in Microsoft and the other person will be working in another MNC. And usually it happens that we barely see for 2 hours a day. So it's not about meeting somebody with all the right bells and charms. It's about being with someone who's going to support you in your journey, or in both ways, not just in one way. It has to be something mutual. So if somebody has to know what my work is, of course they'll have to know me. That may or may not happen. It's all left on the other part. But from the societal point of view, as you said, will somebody celebrate that my son is building a startup and will get the same credibility and the same social status? It will get when the world comes to know what entrepreneurs are doing and how entrepreneurs are building a change around the current system. So now we live in an age where a lot of startups have become unicorns in India. So now people have much better understanding of startups. So now when you say about startup that my son is working on a startup, at least earlier 90% of the people will be like, "Arey pagale tu, you left your job and worked on a startup." But now when you hear that, 50% of the people will be like, okay, so maybe this guy is doing something good because they have heard of startups doing well. They have heard of startups bringing a change. So the only way we can fix that is that more entrepreneurs and startups should be recognized.
Okay.
They should be celebrated.
So what should be the recognition? Because from what you've said so far, some keywords are unicorns, right? And then valuation is associated with it. Then fundraisers are associated with it. And now the barometer for success becomes fundraise valuation, right? IPO, which is still very far. We are talking about students. Right? IPO is 10 years away.
Yes.
If you are in the right direction, you get all the support that you need and so on. So for a student, setting valuation or fundraise as a target, how do you see this? Is this...
I know, I never see fundraising or investment as a target.
For TimeGrapher, you said you do not want to raise funding, right? You want to do it on your own, whatever small boutique manner you want, you can.
So right now, so I said initially we did 40 watches, then we did 400 watches. Maybe someday we will have the scale to do 4,000 watches or even 40,000 watches. I feel the same kind of fullness, I would say, or I am content with what the outcomes were when I did 40 watches and 400 watches. To me, it is the entire process of ideating something, delivering it and closing it. be it 40 watches, 400,000 or 4 million watches. So being a student, you work at small scales. But to me, the most important part is the process. How is your business model? How are you delivering end to end? Even if it is in a limited number.
Okay.
So being a student entrepreneur, if somebody is doing something and raised, let us say 50,000 rupees in your first quarter, he should be celebrated for the process that he has done.
Okay.
Because if this process is good, with whatever limited resources as a student, he is doing 50,000 in one quarter, he might do 50 million one day. So we should never look at the end number, but the process.
The process, the learnings on the way.
But the process that we are talking about here has results. The process is making 50K a month.
Yes, with the limited resources he has being a student.
But I don't see people making money. We see people who just start something and it doesn't work out and then they're lost.
Another reason that I think we happen, that is that we always come to notice the people who have failed. How many of us have tried to find out people who have succeeded? And whenever someone fails, that news goes like wildfire.
The other way around as well, I would say that we only bring out the stories which are successful, right? And then there is a number which goes around, like 95% of the startups fail. So, dreaded path, let's not do this. This is very risky. But I'm saying, even when you are in job, how will you measure the success in a job, in a profession that you are in? Still, I would say only 5% of the people excel. They move to the next place, right? I mean, if you follow the pyramid structure, of course, the higher up you move in the hierarchy in an organization, fewer people will be there. So same churn is also there. It's just that you are guaranteed a minimum salary is all, a regular flow of income, right? So I missed the point, drawing a blank.
And we were starting from the societal point of view.
Societal viewpoint, and we're saying, what is the barometer for success? Money cannot be the barometer for success. Small money as a hobby, as for the purpose of eliminating that barrier that I'm not making money, or money is too important. Small money can be made. You can put it on the side.
I feel that ideas and your ideation and your business process or your business models should be appreciated more than the revenue. See, if a student is working 2 hours a day on his startup, but his idea is brilliant, the problem he's solving is great, this business model is reducing the cost from anybody else that can do, that idea and the process should be appreciated. Because with the limited resources, he's doing this. So now, whether you are doing a huge sum of money or a small sum of money, you're being appreciated for your efforts and your ideas. So if that comes out more, should be great. In fact, when I did 40 watches, as you'll remember, TimeGrapher was covered in almost 9 Malayalam newspapers when we just did 40 watches because of the concept.
Yeah.
Even when we did Olam, maybe we were featured in a few more English newspapers. But still, at least those newspapers and the local media, and because we know a lot of people over there, they valued that effort. And that motivated us to do much bigger.
Yeah.
So if nobody has spoke about Naarigha, it would have just died off like that. Now, only because Naarigha got recognized, I also got the societal support that you should do more. So it should not be based on the money or the revenue alone you are making. As long as you are sustaining, and if your idea is good, your process is good, that should be appreciated.
Yeah. Let's talk also about one more group of people, which is your peer group. In the college, you're building this venture. What is the reaction of your peer group, students, your friends in the class?
So, I think I'll just finish
Yeah, finish the biscuit.
No. So, we're coming to the peer group. I think maybe because I was slightly the more mature guy in my batch, considering age-wise also. I had almost 4 years of work before I joined. So within the batch also, everybody was like, at least you have some work, so they take you slightly more seriously than the other folks.
And of course, you are a magician.
No, I'm a magician, yeah. So if you don't agree, I can make it disappear. So jokes apart, so when I told the idea and the concept, this is where something very interesting struck me. people often run around saying that I don't get investments. If I get investments, I just need funding.
Yeah, right.
People often say that only thing I need is funding.
Hmm.
But from what I feel is that funding is not your problem. And people who tell me this are people who have gone for funding rounds and who have not gotten funding.
Okay.
So what I feel is that fund is not your problem. The problem is that you don't have clarity with your business process, and the other person who's ready to invest, they don't find value in this process.
Correct. Agreed.
If your business model is good, if you have clarity, people are ready to fund. People are lining up to fund. So when I came to campus, I saw about my first project. I told about Naarigha, and people, when they Google on for Naarigha, they can find the results. So every single person I have spoke to in my campus was like, great, this is awesome. When are you doing the next thing?
Okay.
Not even one person has questioned me or asked me that, why are you doing this? Why can't you do something else? In fact, people have asked me that, let us know how we can help.
Okay.
Now, coming out of the student life, sometimes I feel maybe I should just be a PhD scholar and go back to student life. Because in student life, there are a lot of things that you can leverage.
Okay.
And I figured out these things that I can leverage and I can make use of only because I had no other option. That made me find these things out. When we were operating...
Scarcity,
that leads to...
Necessity is the need, mother of invention.
And so, when let's say in our batch in MBA Data Science and AI, there are people with tech background, there are people with non-tech background, there are people in marketing or other management backgrounds. So, I had a problem statement where I had to manage multiple inventories. I had to manage procurement. I had to manage dispatch. So, it was getting very troublesome to handle all these dispatch for multiple people, multiple addresses. Our own batchmates, I had 4 or 5 very good batchmates of mine who was working and discussing with me on these watches and all. They had even built me a computer vision model that will track the entire data set of the dispatched couriers, put it in a folder, put it in an automatic Excel sheet and automate the entire process so that everyone gets a mail saying that this is your tracking number, this courier, this day, this is the picture. And it was done in-house through our batch. In class. And
college.
And I think some of our batchmates has put it on the CV also. They had made a dispatch system.
Okay.
But I was able to do it because of the peer group we had. So imagine any other brand having to develop all these things in-house. It's going to just limit you off.
Yes.
So being friends, being in college, another good thing is that none of them are working. They don't have full-time job commitments. So if they like your idea, they have the time to give for you. The only thing is that, are they convinced with your idea? Or do they want to get on board with it?
I'll give you an example, sir. Sohan, I know him. I've been seeing his success story, the Bosch launches and all. And I talked to him. I liked his idea. So I was like, I also want to contribute. When you show it to the world, you attract people. So I was like, Bhaiya, tell me some ideas. I will also contribute. Anytime you need something. So he gave me, they were discussing over a dinner table that I want updates from a website. An Australian website.
Every day.
They get some discounts on very exotic watches. And he had a business model in mind that he'll get those watches and there is a path or something and he'll be able to utilize that, leverage that discount. So what he needs is a script which will update automatically the watches and the discount rates as soon as they drop on the website so that he doesn't have to go manually and check the website.
Yeah.
So I don't have those technical capabilities. I consulted with one of my BTech friends. So BTech second year guy, he needs a project. So I told him, this is the project, this is the guy, MBA guy he's doing a startup and he needs this. So he liked the idea. So right, he was out in the open with his business that I'm doing all of this and this is my business plan.
He's not hiding it. He's not keeping it close to his chest.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It is out there and he was my friend, new friend. I also got a chance to connect with him. I got to know him better. So I asked him, this is the project. You will get to add this on your CV and it might help Sohan Bhaiya and we might generate money. You will also get money. So you build the script. He did some things. I showed some model to you, although it didn't end up well because we couldn't have a conversation, 3 of us together.
Okay.
Vacations popped up, something. So, but the idea was conveyed. Like if you are working and people can see that this guy has a convincing idea and I want to contribute with the skill sets that I have, you get resources in the college, which you can't find normally when you are working professionals. So building a venture in college, in your student life is, I think, easier. I wasn't able to perceive it from this perspective till now.
Actually, many students ask, how do I find the right co-founder? And when you are in the class, and I tell them that if you look at successful startups, many of them, they have co-founders who were classmates. So where do I find the co-founder right now?
Yeah.
These are the people with whom you will live for 2 years, 4 years, depending on what kind of program you're doing, and you know them day in, day out. They can't hide their identities. Later on in life, you try to identify a co-founder, very difficult. And this is a time where you bond so well, you learn together, you play together, you eat together. You can find your co-founders right here. And start now and build capabilities, rely on each other, and then not only within the group that you're studying with, cross-disciplinary groups can be also created, made, and then now there's a lot of undercurrent within the universities, colleges, where there are several opportunities. People are, I'm very happy to see all of that. Government is doing a lot now. Hackathons are happening. At national level, at local level. Students are getting these opportunities. I hope they leverage the community, the student community that they have, and see the power of that in the story here.
That is one more reason why I like this MBA Data Science and AI program of IIT Mandi. Because I get to meet not just business people, my seniors and my batch. I get to connect with BTech people, right from the first year till the fourth year. I also get to connect with PhD people. I don't just attend programs of my department, my school. I get to attend programs of the whole institute. All the people that come for talks for IIT Mandi, I can connect with them. Be it technicals, AI, or anyone that comes for industry interactions, I also get their network. So that is the best example for the point that you were trying to make. That you get to co-create with people who are beyond your realm, whom you can't connect easily with.
And one thing that will help you in your student life is that let's say that you assume that you're in IIT Mandi, you're a student, you're building your venture, you have a few friends to help out. Now you have the huge advantage of reaching out to your alumni network for mentors. There could be potential mentors over there. There could be people who are running their own ventures. In fact, mentorship is one thing that you require at all stages when you're building something. Fortunately, I had one mentor in 2018. I met one person called Mahind, who was a management consultant, and he also turns out to be an alumni of my own university. So he has tried building a lot of venture in his past, and he became into consulting. He settled abroad in the US, but then he was genuinely concerned on how I will build things. So I can imagine being a senior consultant somewhere, still spending 2 to 3 hours on a call for me on a week. So I can know how much of interest they have. So at every point of time, there will be things that I have not seen. So I might be only saying that this is the production, this is what happens. So then he might calling me up and saying, Sohan, what metrics are you using to measure the customer experience?
Okay.
And how are you going to keep them warm? After a while, how are you going to reach out to them?
Right.
So these kind of constant mentorships help you out a lot. There will be places where you are stuck, your friends will be stuck. And now what happens is that if you don't have a mentorship, you'll think that your startup failed. You're stuck over here. Now you have a third party who has already done this outside. They're able to look at it and say, okay, why don't you do this thing? Or I'll provide you with some guy who can help you out of this. So mentorship is what you need to not get stuck anywhere, even when you have your co-founders and groups together. And being a student, leveraging on your alumni for that is the best thing you have. And being a student, and any industry person will also have this mindset, these are students. So at least let's help them out. So as you initially said, intrinsically we are all curious. So even if you talk to any person working, I'm sure 95% of them would say that I would also like to build something someday. So as a student, when you are reaching out, my response will be like, okay, I couldn't build anything so far. At least these kids are building something.
Yeah.
Let me help them out. So that is one thing students should leverage while they are on their entrepreneurship journey within being a
Yeah, I think it doesn't get discussed enough, the role of mentors.
Yes.
And finding a mentor, also finding the right mentor. Are you getting the right advice? How does a student know?
That is the thing.
Right? Anyone can give advice.
Yep.
But how do you know this is the right advice, is the right person to
And
advise?
that is why I would say that you have to reach out to your mentor. Often, if you look at a lot of launchpad programs, or if you look at programs where that they teach you how to be an entrepreneur, we have mentor. Those mentors are supposed to be there to give advices to everyone. So it's a job for them. They'll be seeing hundreds of people a day. So to them, it is something very process driven. They might give you 5 minutes of their day. What mentorship are you going to get from 5 minutes a day? So that is why it is essential, just like how you found your co-founder, you need to find your mentors. This is one thing that is always I have in mind. Find your tribe.
Okay.
You need to find out your tribe. If you want to do something out of the way, you build it, you build the people you want, you figure out who you want for the advice.
All that he's saying is around building community.
It is always about people, because as a student, that is the only thing you have.
Crazy quilt, co-creating with people. Again, yeah, I think this is a perfect case study in how do you bring people together, harness their power, harness their interest, and build something together. Be it team members, classmates, the mentors, co-creators, manufacturers, designers, everyone through a community building process.
The perspective that our expert today is bringing, it looks like that student himself is the limiting factor. The environment has so much to offer. You have teachers, you have seniors, you have juniors, you have alumni, you have mentors coming in. You just have to reach out. You just have to talk. You just have to find people who are passionate to do a similar kind of thing. And everyone is curious. You just have to find the common curiosity towards the thing.
Are we encouraging enough the students to start?
I would say no, because encouraging as in we are not showing them the road.
Okay.
If somebody wants to go through this path, we have the enough requirements to push them. But are we even showing them the road? If a batch comes, all of them come for placements. How well are they aware of their startup journey ahead, what they can do on their own, what they can build on their own? Maybe 10% sees it. The others don't see it. Unless and until you see, you can't.
As a teacher, how do I show it to them?
I would say that you can start off with cases around you, things that you've seen people have built. What is some ventures that have started from the scratch? Being in Catalyst, you have seen so much of journeys. So you must have seen a journey of people who are working for 10-15 years, then say start something and it goes very well. I think at some point they must have even told you that I should have started earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
So these are all real world examples that you can show people. Not everyone gets to see these things.
What works in classroom? I can tell the stories. I can tell your story. I can bring you to classroom. I can give a write-up. What would work more?
So I would say for any person to do something, first they should develop an interest on that, right? If I need to build something, I need to be passionate, or I need to have an interest. Okay, let me try this out. And for someone who is not exposed to any entrepreneurial pathway so far, it needs to be something that can happen within 3 to 4 months. So let us say you give them the examples of people who have built. Let us say we make a list of student entrepreneurs from various institutes across the country. We show them what they have done in class, and we show them a project, or we ask them to club together of similar interest, students to similar interest. They come together and ask them, what do you want to create so that you can make money? So now you're going hands-on, and you know that this thing has worked. And let us say that in this class, 10 batches do something. Out of that, 3 batches make good money. So from the next batch, you can tell them, see, this is your senior batch. This is the 3 most top batch that did this. So now you're reinforcing in me that, okay, people have done this and they're successful. If they are successful, our chances are also higher. So now I know hands-on. And for some people, they just simply cannot work on startups or building things. It is exactly like that. A lot of people prefer stability.
Right.
They want to go to office at 10. I want to leave my office at 6. I don't care how much money I get. This is what I want to do.
Right.
For them also, this is a oil and oil dipstick test. You get hands-on and you figure out, okay, this is not my
Yeah,
this is not my
right.
cup of tea. And I feel a lot of startups fail because of this, because people think they can do startups. People think they can build. Once they start building, they realize this is not my cup of tea. This is not my interest. And then the whole startup system gets the blame that the startup is failing. So if we can give them a test, a reality check in classroom itself, that itself is a big thing. Earlier we said 95% of startups fail. If we can show or we can get them exposed to this within class, maybe that 95 will come down to 60%. Because people know this is not my thing, this is not what I want to do.
Or if people might not go for startups, or they might get successful in startups.
Yeah,
the number will reduce there
That's
also.
what I said. The 95 might come to 60, which means the successful startups will also increase.
Yes.
So tell me more. If I give you an assignment in the course.
I'll tell you. I'm also shy. I was waiting. Ask me.
So okay, now I'll give you an assignment in the course. 2 sessions, 3 sessions done. I've given a basic background of what is entrepreneurship, what is effectuation, mindset of entrepreneurship. Now if I give you an assignment saying, for them it was different. For them, and I've recently had this realization as well. In the course, usually what I do is I say you have to build something new, and then you have to build an MVP, right? That is where you get the marks. Now I've recently realized that it should not be something innovative. It has to be something small, achievable, attainable within this semester, because we have so many courses. With BTech it worked fine. They also have the tech skills and so on. With MBA, the problem is they have so much to do, so many courses, talks and so on, and short time in the college. So they can't build something new. So maybe something existing that they can sell. The third question, the third idea, or now something that I can experiment with is, should I also give you a target saying, here are the books, Mandi model, let's say, right? Here are 200 books. As a class, all of us, let us sell these books. We are a business unit. Let's sell these books, and this is the target month. Weekly we sell these many books. Is that interesting?
Sir, I'll come back to the wisdom that our expert gave. Interest. If only 5 people are interested in selling books, only let them sell books. Get other products that other people are interested in. Let them sell what they like.
See, what I'm trying to do here is, first of all, get you interested and excited about the idea of selling. Because if an entrepreneur cannot sell, then it's very difficult to build a venture, right? You have to sell the idea from day one. So, in the classroom, you will get to a point where you will build something that you want. But to begin with, in the first class, second class, I give you stationery and I said you build something and go out and sell. 2-hour exercise. You, using whatever you had, you built something, went out, made some money, right? Somebody made maximum was 450, 2 hours, right? So from that you got an idea, oh, exciting. You said that the most interesting thing was that I created something. When we started, we did not know what will we make. Then किसको क्या आता है, वो जोड़ के बनाना कुछ था, बन कुछ गया, बिक भी गया, पैसे भी मिल गए, तो मजा आया. So this maza, this passion that you feel when you do this process, you said, right? That translates into, what else can I do now? Now I'll take you to the next step, which is where, earlier you built the product, so you loved it, so you sold it. Now here is another product I'll give you again, but a small exercise. I'm not saying this is going to be your venture. Now I'm saying here is, 2-week assignment. Here are the books. All of you go out and sell. Earlier, very small product within the college you are selling. Go out in the town and sell these books. As a unit, we have to achieve it. And in those 2 weeks, you will again get some more learnings. Then I will say, now you have 2 more months in the semester. Now build something that you want. So I'm saying gradually, baby steps. Earlier, I was saying throughout the semester, ideate something, define the problem, build the product, sell it, which is too much, very hazy. So I'm breaking it down into small parts. 1-day exercise. Now we'll do a 1 week or 2 week exercise, and then you have 2 more months in the semester to build something that you want.
Got the idea. Sir, the difference between the first activity, resources were similar, but creativity was open. They were groups and everyone had the freedom to build something of their own. जो उन्होंने बनाया खुद बैठ के, अब वो जाके बेच रहे हैं. But when you get books ना कि सबको यही बेचनी है, then they are bound. Freedom मर गई. Then दिल सी कि बेच कोई और ग्रुप बना दो जो एक बंदा बेच देगा सब कुछ, हमने कुछ नहीं करना. First model की एक और बात मैं करता हूँ. अब लोगों ने बेच तो लिया, बट कैसे बेचा है उसमें भी तो गलती है. वी नेवर हैड दिस फीडबैक सेशन. दोस्त को पाल के भाई खरीद लेगा, तेरा भी अगली साल प्रोजेक्ट होगा के लिए हम खरीद लेंगे. दिस वाज नॉट द आइडिया. एंड आई हैव हैड फीडबैक फ्रॉम पीपल, दे वर लाइक कि 20 रुपए का ही तो यार इंडिपेंडेंस डे का फ्लैग है, ले लो. ऐसे थोड़ी बेचना है. वैल्यू प्रोपोजिशन का है. एंड दिस कल्यूड्स द नेम. दे आर सेइंग कि आप बेच तो रही नहीं कुछ, यू आर फोर्सिंग मी टू बाय. एंड मैं क्यों खरीदूं? मैंने तो ऐसे ही खरीद लिया कि 20 रुपए का यार बोल रहा है तो खरीद लेते हैं.
कुछ नहीं तो कॉन्फिडेंस तो बनाना कि बाहर तो गए हम. You have gone out of the building.
Yes.
Right? Now at one go, I cannot build a very large assignment, because I lose people in the process. So I'm saying, कैसे भी किया, you went out.
Yes.
Now, Sohan had worked before. Sohan had launched 40, and then he came to the course, and MVP made a lot of sense for him. BML loop made a lot of sense for him. Now, day one, you go out and sell something. You at least know the process.
Yes.
Now, when I teach you in the class, I will refer to that and you will listen. Will that happen?
Yes, that happens. Yeah, I was saying the activity is good, very good. जैसे भी बेचा बेच दिया, and now I have something to relate with. But some common mistakes, these are common mistakes that will be repeated over here. These should be addressed. वो address नहीं हो रही है. करेंगे लोग, बच्चे ऐसे ही करते हैं. We often find the easiest way to do things. तो
See, इसको इसको बोलते हैं दाना डालना. Right? दाना डालेंगे, you will come, you will do all of this. No worry. I also know. It has happened in the past. People try to fraud the system. That's not the purpose. Let them do whatever they do. My thing is to get you introduced to the idea of creating something and selling it, whichever you did. Now from that baby step, I'll take you to next step, which is you sell something that you have not created. Now you really have to know the product. Then you will try to sell it and go out of the college. Nobody knows you, out in the waters. Then you will further build confidence how to talk to people.
Yes.
And then I'll take you to further more step. Now do what you want. So filtering through this, of course, everyone does not need to be an entrepreneur. That's all right. Entire class cannot. But at least you will taste it. You will decide whether it is for me or no. Right?
Okay.
So every system, any teaching methodology, everything has a shortcoming. But it also has a pinpointed agenda that I can only teach you this one point through this exercise.
Okay.
So through one day exercise, I can create something, I can step out. You did that much, you made $500 in 1 hour. Great. And this was just ad hoc. If you have more time, now 2 weeks, plan something and execute. Can you make more money? Great. Now 2 more months, plan something bigger. So one by one, without chasing an ambitious idea which can falter right in the beginning, you will take baby steps is how I'm thinking about this.
Okay. वही है सिर्फ फ्रीडम. फर्स्ट में फ्रीडम वॉज कि मैं खुद से क्रिएट करूंगा. पॉइंट तो बन गया कि यू कैन क्रिएट एंड सेल. सेकंड वाले में आई एम सीइंग बाउंडनेस कि यार अब किताब ही बेचनी पड़ी. एक ऑप्शन दे दो ना. ऑप्शंस भी अपने तरीके से लिमिट करो कि ये 3 है, बट एटलीस्ट दे फील द चॉइस ऑफ फ्रीडम कि हमें कुछ चूज करने को मिल रहा है. नहीं तो सबको ही बुक्स बेचनी है अब. कोई टॉय बना दो, कोई इन द एंड दे हैव टू गो टू द मार्केट एंड सेल. दैट इज द लेसन. अलग अलग प्रोडक्ट्स हो सकते हैं. गांधी की बुक्स का इज गुड बिकॉज द थीम 2 अक्टूबर रिलेट्स कि वो बिक जाएगी. सो दे माइट गेट ईज इन सेलिंग एंड इट इज गुड आइडिया. बट अगर ऑप्शंस भी आ सकते हैं ना, पीपल गेट टू चूज कि हाँ ये 3 प्रोडक्ट्स है. जैसे पोकेमॉन में होते थे, कौन सा 3 में से कौन सा फेवरेट है मेरा. अब उनका ही ग्रुप बन जाएगा आपस में.
At least they have illusion of choice, if not the real choice.
एंड दे ऑल विल फील कनेक्टेड ना कि हमने ये चूज किया है, अब हम इसको बेचेंगे. कैसे बेचेंगे? आइडिया ऑफ यो कि इंटरेस्ट जिनका सिमिलर है उनको मिलाओ एंड देन उनको बोलो कि तुम बेचो. वन थिंग. एक और थिंग क्या है, उनके पास किसी एक्सपर्ट को लाओ who has done this from scratch. 2 एक्टिविटीज करवा ली, उनका बेस क्लियर है, दे हैव क्लैरिटी नाउ. गेट पीपल फ्रॉम आउटसाइड कि अब आप इनके साथ बात करो. दे नो बेसिक्स एंड दे हैव क्वेश्चंस नाउ. आई एम टेलिंग देम टू स्टार्ट समथिंग न्यू. गेट एन एक्सपर्ट जो उनके साथ बैठे, ग्राउंड रियलिटी करे, नॉट सिटिंग अप देयर, सिटिंग विद देम देयर. वो मेस मॉडल वाज वेरी गुड कि अब बीच में बैठो, अब बच्चे क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे एंड एड्रेस एवरीवनस क्वेरी. तब मजा आएगा.
Mess model is we have a classroom, but we chose to go to the first floor where there is open mess, and it has big windows, so you could see very nice view outside. So we moved the class there, and it became a non-class, right? It's not a classroom anymore, and we are sitting there chit-chatting with 50 people. So that's what he's referring to, mess model.
So an expert also, and you also stay in the class,
हाँ,
ताकि वो direction कहीं lose ना हो जाए, because facilitator has to do that.
Yeah.
Expert भी तो address करनी चाहिए query CV में जिसमें आप चाहते हो.
right.
Recently, I was talking to a friend of mine in France. I mean, she's a French. So she has a startup. She actually sells a lot of accessories, wearables. So recently, she called me up saying that, Zohan, I want to make a bead and integrate a fitness tracker into the bead. It should look like a bead, but it should be a tracker.
Okay.
I said, there are a lot of wearables. Why do you want to do that?
Hmm.
He said, now, if my customer wants to, a lot of people say that I love your beads, but then it feels odd wearing a tracker on the left hand and a bead on the right hand.
Hmm.
I said, okay. I mean, I have some people who are into the tech side. I'll talk with them. I connected her to a vendor. And then she's already working on another startup where she's recycling cigarette butts.
Right.
And the surprising part is that both her ventures are doing very well. So her sister is currently working somewhere. She was saying that once this scales up, I'll ask her to quit and join me. So I was just trying to figure out, how these people are getting so confident on working on these things. Her sister is hardly 19.
Hmm.
So then she was saying that every summer we used to sell lemonades back home. So
Native to them.
and then when I started asking, she said we had vineyards, we used to sell wine. So innately they have that confidence that they can sell.
Yeah.
So once you get the confidence that you can sell, you can convince people, that gives you confidence to move on.
You have to have small wins. You have to get into the habit of how do I sell this and now this. Give me something, I can sell it.
I will.
Selling is the
Yeah.
warhead of the missile, right? If you know how to sell, you will also sell an idea to those who can create, and then you can sell that as well. So I think that would be the top skill, and therefore, yeah, okay, small wins, and it has to come native. So if you're teaching entrepreneurship, we have to teach it in such a way that selling becomes native to the students.
Yep.
And entrepreneurship becomes native because every summer we do it.
Yeah.
Every semester we do it. Every course we do it. So what's
Not very
new?
different.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Right.
This is enterprising education.
Enterprising education.
In fact, when you look at the placement, whenever companies come for placement, if it is a sales or a business development profile, everybody will be like, we don't want to go into sales or business development profile. You cannot be a manager, or you can't be even in management if you don't know how the sales work. Because at the end of the day, whatever you're working for, the sales team is bringing you a revenue. So if you don't know to sell, it's pointless being there any further. I mean, you can talk about any kind of process optimization, you can talk about any kind of innovation. At the end, it is a sales process. You have to generate money. So then you should not run away from sales. This is something that you should, in fact, get very close to, and something that you should love. I have a very good friend of mine who completed his BTech in 9 years, a 4-year BTech program with all his backlogs. He started an edtech firm in sales. He was doing around 50,000-60,000 a month in his entire fixed and variable pay. He started sales from there. He started loving sales. 2 years in edtech, he shifted to real estate. He got into properties. He was doing high ticket sales. So once he got his BTech done, he was doing in aeronautic engineering. He went to Embraer Aviation, and now he's handling Embraer's military contracts. And then one day he calls me, and I was just talking to him, and he said, there I was selling something for 50,000, I get 1% commission. Here we are closing 50 million deals, still I get 1% commission.
Interesting.
Sales is an art. Sales plays your communication. And to me, the best process about sales is that it teaches you to be empathetic. It teaches you to understand the other person, understand the other person's pain point. Then figure out, let us say that I want to sell something to you. I want to sell a course to you. I need to understand your situation. I need to understand what pain point you are going through. I need to show you the implication of that pain point and how my product is going to solve that thing. Then only you will be convinced.
Yes.
That is the same thing you need for anything in life. You want to even give a presentation. You want to go to your investors. You want to talk to your team. you need this communication.
Yeah.
Then sales is the foundation.
User centricity, empathy.
And this is basic common sense, sir. To sell to a person, the whole process is common sense. You won't buy from me unless I provide you value.
Yeah.
And in providing that value, I have to figure out the price at what I should feature my product, the features, how it should be looking like 4 P's of marketing: price, place, packaging, promotion. I have to figure that all out. These are packaged in a way in the management education, but technically it is just basic common sense.
Yeah.
And just the activity of selling teaches you every function of an organization of management.
See, when you work with large companies, you see large companies functioning, right? You learn there. Maybe pick up a job and then come back and do a startup versus start when you are a student.
I would say it all depends on the confidence and all depends on your own perspective. If I feel that I have something highly valuable, I am very sure that if it hits the market, I don't have anything to worry. And I have a very clear pathway that this is going to work in this way. And if I want sudden returns, I want things to happen immediately, and I'm confident about myself, go for it full-fledged. Why should I worry? If I feel that there is a lot more things I can learn, and I want to implement this in a much better way, then of course you need to work. But at the end of the day, I feel that except for 20% of startups, rest everybody needs some kind of work experience with an organization and with teams, especially cross-functional teams. Else, in the long run, it is going to be very difficult for you to manage in similar domains. So that is important that you do work or at least get involved in some team into some capacity before you go all in.
So the response we hear to this idea is when you go into a company, then you are in a specific role, although you build some expertise, but you still are not able to see the cross functionality of the organization, the strategy being implemented. You are only cog in the wheel, right? You only see so much. And as an entrepreneur, when you build a company from scratch, you see 360-degree view, and gradually you build that expertise, and whatever you are not able to learn because you're not in an organization, you can learn from others who have been in the organization. Mentor, right? You have mentors, you have coaches, you have consultants. They will tell you how to do it.
Yeah.
So do you think that combination could work?
See, that self-learning is also something that can work. But again, as you said, there are a lot of variable parameters. Your mentor may be good. Who knows your mentor is good or not? When you're working in an organization, at least my manager is not going to tell me that something that is going to sink the company, because the manager will also sink that. So at least you get an idea of reporting to someone and following a structure. So that does help. Else, if you are starting up, if you are an entrepreneur and you have a good team, the self-learning also helps. It's something very subjective. And right now, with the evolving market dynamics, with a lot of startups coming up, and with a lot of roles like EIRs and are opening up, that is also something you can pick up.
Sir, I have this very interesting question. Why should you start?
Why should you start up?
To me, the answer is very simple. I want to start up because I am not satisfied with what is available or what is there in the market. That is not satisfying me. I have an idea. I want certain things to earn in certain ways. I have my vision of how a customer journey should be. I'm just doing that. Nobody is telling me that you should start up before this age so that you can put it on your CV. That's not my motivation.
So, still it sounds very external. I'm not happy with what is in the market. Let's talk more in depth. Internally, what happens to you when you do this? Right? What satisfaction do you get?
To me, the biggest satisfaction is that, let us say I ideate something, and I'm a person who I always try to see things from a different perspective. As in, I like seeing things from multiple perspectives. If you ask me to just look into one problem, I can see it from the problem side. I'll try see it from the benefit side also. And now you come up with your own idea. You come with your own version, and you know that, okay, this is doable. And now the entire industry or what is there out there is saying that this is not going to work. But then I start my journey, I start seeing progress, and I start seeing that this is doable. That is what motivates me. I want to create a new process that is better than what is already there.
Hmm.
And I want to show that this, I need to show myself that this can be done. That motivates me.
See, bring out your theory now. You said entrepreneurs like to do things their own way. They want autonomy, and they don't like to follow someone else. Pilot in the plane. They like to build things their own way.
Yeah, I mean, the more we talk to, and the theories in the book, right? There is this theory of effectuation which says, how do entrepreneurs do what they do, right? And the theory says entrepreneurs, the pilot in the plane principle, that entrepreneurs believe in an alternate reality. The entrepreneurs, and my interpretation of this is that they're able to see 30,000 feet view, yes, and they don't read newspaper, they don't read the trends, they don't go to experts and ask how our next 10 years, how will they look like. They're like, I am going to change the way the world works. I'm not satisfied with this, I will change it. Others may or may not believe, and he's finding it hard, he or she is finding it hard to explain to others how this new reality will be. But they know that I'm going to change it. And in the process, they're gathering people, they're gathering resources, building communities, right? And then creating that alternate reality.
I think, in fact, to a lot extent, I would agree to that. Because whenever you see that these huge companies with so much resources, they can do so much, but they're not doing it because they're like, why should we do? We are able to sustain the way it is. We are not being challenged by anyone. Now somebody outside comes up with a new concept. Now everybody feels challenged. Now you are creating your own reality without anything. You're just starting and you're just collecting people on the go who also believe in this. And that itself gives you the satisfaction. I would say if somebody is giving me 10 lakhs a month to work on something, and if my entire startup is giving me only 10 lakhs in a year, still I will do this because I get that satisfaction. And that is how I think the world has always progressed. Somebody has always wanted to see things in a different way. Somebody has always believed that there is a different way of doing things, and they went that way. That's what I believe in.
These are the principles, and the tool is community. Use your famous dialogue. You do with what you have. Can you please tell us?
Again, theory of effectuation, bird in hand principle. Rather than waiting for the perfect moment, you focus on 3 questions. Who am I? What do I know? Who do I know?
Yes.
Right? Remember this?
Yeah.
And using this, build what you can and focus on execution. Just take it to market, go to the customer, co-create with the customer. Another principle, right? Crazy quilt. The best crazy quilt, the best network you can build, community you can build is with the customer, with the user. And then there is.
In fact, when my last watch, sorry to cut you off. In fact, when the last watch came, so we have so much of demand, we have so much of traffic, and the only way a person who's not in my community can buy the watches, a member of my community should refer them, saying that this is my friend, he's not a reseller or anything, he wants a watch, so this is my family. So now I'm giving the power to my members to decide who
will get
the watch. And now, before the watch even hit, so we had a multiple number of celebrities who has taken the watch, including big names from the South to the Bollywood, people who have the watch with them. But before my watch hits the market or before the watch reaches them, I make sure my community members and my customers get the watch first. My celebrities or the endorsements get the watch second. Because to me, celebrities are there, they are liking the watch, great news. But the people who help me co-create this, they are the ones who should experience this first. So whenever a user is wearing the watch, they don't say that I bought this watch. They said I was involved in this watch. It's a collective effort. So as you said, it's what you have. Oftentimes we go around saying that we don't have this, I don't have that person, I don't have this resource. But are we using what we have?
I mean, we should write this case for the classroom. The power of community. Yeah, TimeGrapher. Building the community, co-creating products. TimeGrapher.
Guess India is also a case today.
I mean, it is.
Yeah, there's so much we are learning from this, and we'll translate.
It is what more.
In fact, I've seen personally, my marketing budget is zero so far. I don't spend on marketing. In fact, in my page, I have not even activated ads. I don't want to ever activate it. I want my For Olam, the reels alone, the reels that we have put for the watch with different people alone has crossed over 6 million views in like 2 months.
Are you creating the reels?
We are co-creating. Our every content comes from the community. Whatever
If
content
you
we see
open
comes
his
from
page right now, you will see 10, 20 people tagging his account and showing off their watches or showing off some event that they did. And all the community is there. They interact, like,
so
share,
it is
comment.
the people at the center of that.
What is your role? People at the center, right? And you are
I'm
you,
just-
you are the one who are mobilizing them, right?
Yes.
Bringing them together. Tell me about your role as a community builder. How do you think about it?
So to me, the way I see it is that, let us say a community member comes with an interest for watches, he joins the community. This should be the sole platform that is going to elevate their watch journey end to end. That is the way I see it.
Mm-hmm.
So you come here as a community member, you come for my event, any event that we host, you are going to be the first in the country to experience a new watch launch. You are going to be the first in the country to get a new watch from anywhere in the world. If you are a person who is passionate about watches, you are seeing watches, I'll make sure that you get the watch at the best deal directly from the manufacturer. You are at the center. So it is like, it is no longer a watch. We build a lifestyle around the watch. We'll build a lifestyle around the brand. So make them your ambassadors, make them the main point of elevation. And I am 100%, I'm just telling this, everyone can figure this out. You will find so much of points of monetization along this journey. There will be so much. But the problem I see is that when brands grow, they don't understand the importance of user experience. They're like, I get your money in my account, done.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
They're looking at repeat interaction with the.
Sometimes they think, okay, repeat is also one thing. But you take the money, you give the product, then what?
Yeah.
You're no longer a customer. In fact, if I can name a brand, I have taken my internships, I have taken my projects very specifically. I have cherry picked the companies I work with.
Great story coming in.
And I'm so eternally grateful for this brand, that is Royal Enfield, that I worked with them. So Enfield was my first motorcycle. I bought it in 10 years. In fact, I would say whatever we are doing on TimeGrapher is being done in a much larger scale by Enfield, not at this depth though, but they have done this. So I started as a customer. I entered up as an employee just because of the love for the brand as an intern over there. At Royal Enfield, when you go to a store, you'll see people coming, sitting, talking, who have not come to buy the bikes. They are customers. They come just to see the staff, just to talk to the staff. Because the brand follows a policy, or they try to keep it as such. Each customer is a friend of the brand. They want to come, drop in, have a coffee, let them come. And the salesperson to the manager are friends of every single customer. Weekend, they do the community rides together, gave 4 events together. So now a customer bought a motorcycle, is coming back for service, he's coming for the events, they are part of the lifestyle, they're part of the tribe. So when I joined Royal Enfield, I still remember I had one issue with my motorcycle. I escalated it to the highest authorities and the local area manager contacted me. From then, we've been in touch. He used to call me on weekends saying that I'm going for a ride, are you coming? From 2015. So when I joined Royal Enfield as an intern, he was the zonal head. So when I called him and said, I want to work with you guys, he said, okay, I'll make the arrangement. And he made the arrangement. So from a customer to an employee, if a brand can make you do that transition, imagine how the brand is able to interact with you. And that is one thing Enfield has done in an amazing way. And that is why I believe right now in the past 10 years, they have exporting to 60 plus countries. And Enfield strongly believes in this thing. It is not just about the sale and leave. It is about the customer experiences. We don't want customers, we want friends of the brand.
For a student, thinking all of this, community, thinking a product, thinking user, who's a student? A student feels like they are a nobody. How do they build credibility that I'm building this and you are my prospective customer, give me feedback? How do you build credibility. You know, B2, for example, B2B, if you're going B2B, going to a big brand, saying, I'll build something, can you buy? A 20-year-old. How do students build credibility as an entrepreneur? Community building, you know, bringing in people.
Yes.
Furthermore, a question of how do I build my credibility as somebody who will build the community? And you got first two people who were senior in age to you.
Yeah. And so to build credibility, I would say being a student and also your peer group itself is more than enough. As in, you have 5 friends. Those 5 friends will have 5 other friends.
Okay.
And somebody will know somebody who works for the company to get you an icebreaker.
Okay.
It is only that I'm not going to a brand as an individual saying that, okay, my name is Sohan, I'm a student of this place, I want to sell you my product. But using your local peers itself, you should approach. That is the best way that I feel is possible. That is the one that works. But one thing that I've noticed that generally in our societal norms of our structure is that we form friends group for fun. We form friends group for company. We have never thought of friends group for productivity or co-creation. We are not taught that a friends group can co-create. If you look at all the friends who have started something together, it is at a very later point of life. So why is it not happening early? Because in school itself, what are we taught? Don't make much friends. Don't hang out much with your friends. Friends are a bad influence.
पढ़ाई करो घर आके. Sir, a theme that comes up. From company to company.
From company to company. Okay. Interesting. I was talking to someone last week and there was a disagreement over this design, that design. Right? I told them, you know, you'll make hundreds of designs. You can make better designs than this, but don't argue with your friends over a design.
Yeah.
Because you'll not make friends again. Designs you will make again.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's where the community begins. Build your first set of friends, you know, stand by them, build relationships. Designs will be built, products will be built, startups will be built.
Network.
Network is your net worth.
Yeah, network is enough.
Sohan.
Yes, sir.
What are your suggestions, actionables for the following groups of people?
Okay.
Let us start with the students. One thing that you want to tell students.
See, one thing I want to tell students is that don't be afraid to talk. This is one thing that I always see. People are just afraid to talk. People are afraid to express. People are afraid, how will I be received by the other person? Am I right? Am I wrong? I mean, who determines what is right and wrong? If you say something and somebody tells that you are wrong, but your idea still works out, then you magically become right.
Yeah.
So nobody determines that. Be open for collaboration. And one thing, this is one thing that I always see, please don't close yourself. What happens is that sometime might think of an idea. And then they'll be like, if I share with this idea, what if somebody steals my idea?
Yeah. What ifs?
Yeah. So right now the fun fact is that idea is just in your mind. It is not even on paper. And you're already thinking of somebody copying your idea. Now you keep it to yourself. It is going to be like that.
Yeah.
So be open to co-creation.
Okay.
And I strongly believe that the world is something, what goes around comes around. If you are open, if you are helping others without expecting anything, things will come back to you that way. And one thing that I've been fortunate enough is that I am friends with people who studied with me from kindergarten, even today.
Okay.
From KG till now.
Okay.
I have a very big group of set of friends and I'm still in touch with them. So, and these people have seen your journey in the long run. And if you're friends with somebody for the more than 7 to 8 years, it's like you know them inside out. They're a part of you, they're a part of your family. And these people will stay with you. And one reason why people will stay with you is that when you start helping them out without expecting anything in return. I have personally, you know, if I see somebody struggling, even recently in my work, I was seeing that one person was very much struggling with the way they are doing their pitches. I called them and said, I'll wait for 1 hour today extra. You give me your pitch, I'll just hear it out and let you know. So then one of my co-workers asked me, why do you want to do it? It's not your job. I said, I know it's not my job, but this is something I can do and which might help that person. So if it is in your capacity to do something for somebody else, do it. At some point, this will come back to you.
Come back to you. What goes around comes around. Yeah.
Trade-off.
And the moment One thing is that if you are a person who is not very confident of talking, when you try to help someone, that the other person is also receiving your help, you are getting attention, you are also able to interact. This will also help you break the barrier. It will help you be more open.
I was afraid talking to you. I was afraid talking to you, sir. But I took my chance.
I think you were very brave.
No one can know what's going on inside the other person's mind. You only see what you project.
Yeah, I mean, out of a class of 50 students, you raised your hand and you said what you said. That's an interesting story.
Yeah, I heard of that story. But to me also, my riskiest moves had always been the best moves. What
and the best stories to tell. Right?
yeah, what's the most unconventional things have been always the right moves.
Yeah. No, so what he said was in the finance class, he raises his hand and it says, "Sir, I have a question." I say, "Yeah, go ahead. Why should we trust you with this course?" And he had a context. He had a reason to ask that question. It's just that he was being very precise with his question, and I would interpret it in my way, and I would sort of reject the question, sidestep it, or not answer the question directly. But then he musters the courage to send me an email saying, "This is what I meant, and you still have not answered my question." So next class, I answer his question.
Okay.
That's my first dialogue with Prerak, and cut to today. Here we are. We are building guests together.
Yeah, that's exactly. I'm asking questions and getting answers.
So talk for students.
Yeah.
Talk. Muster the courage. Pray to whosoever you do, and talk. If you keep it close to your chest, if you are afraid of speaking your mind, please don't be. Whatever makes you speak, do that.
Yes.
And actually, we did a survey amongst those who are interested in, a student community, interested in working with us on guests. We asked, what are the skills that you want to learn? The top skill that they've rated is communication. Please help us with communication skill. As an entrepreneur, how do we speak? How do we talk to people? And it's not only about language.
Yeah.
It's much more than language.
It is about the clarity.
It's about clarity.
In fact, I would say that if I'm able to communicate my ideas decently to someone, anyone else can do. Because the biggest reason is that I don't think much people know that I was dyslexic and I was undiagnosed.
Okay.
So till my 4th grade, I still remember going to class every day. I'm sent out of class. And in a small school, I mean, when you're in your small, lower standards, when you're kicked out of the class, your friends make fun of you. When you go to the bigger classes, it's a credit. But in the lower classes, it's the opposite. Your friends make fun of you. And I have no idea why they're kicking me out.
Okay.
Every day I used to stand outside, I just look at the tree, I'm wondering, what am I doing? I don't understand. Is it the way I talk? What? I don't get it. So one fine day, a teacher of mine, she came and she asked me, why are you standing out? I told her, ma'am, I don't know why I am standing out. So she went inside, she spoke to the teacher, and the teacher said he is not completing his notes or anything. She took my bag, I still remember, she opened my notebooks, she just looked through the pages, she closed it and said, come to my staff room. I said, I thought I'm done, I'm gone. She must have gone through my notes or something and she's kicking me out of the school. Itna kharab hai to, hey, you here, we'll kick you out. I was scared, I was really scared when I was in her office. She called my mother and all, and I don't know what she spoke. And she said, you sit here. Next class, you go back after the break. I still remember, she got me a small can of juice and all. So I drank the juice, I went to class. And then when I went home, my mother is discussing something. I don't know what is going on. And this teacher is not even teaching me. Next day, she comes to class and saying that your substitute period I am taking from now on.
Okay.
And she said, I'm going to teach you cursive writing. I want you to learn how to write cursive. And she's a very senior teacher. And she comes to me every single time, whenever in class. So I'm like, I don't know what is going on. It's like, okay, this is cursive. You start writing from here, from here. I used to hate writing. But when I started writing in cursive, I started loving it. I still remember I used to come home, I used to take my cursive writing book and I used to start writing on my own. Down the lane, I started getting the thing. So till then, I had no idea of my fundamental education. After a few days, she started teaching me science, she started making, then only everything started making sense to me. I was a very below average student. Then now I come to know from my mother that when that teacher opened my notebook, she saw that every single letter is mirrored, whatever I was writing. I was mirroring everything.
Okay.
So she started making me write in cursive to see if I will mirror the cursive letters.
Okay.
And over time, I was stopped mirroring.
Okay.
So the moment I stopped mirroring, she started telling my mother, put him in all kinds of activities, put him in co-curricular activities. So she tried one by one. We tried basketball, song, swimming. That's how I ended in magic.
Okay.
So now I ended up in magic. I was pulling up all my energy. That is when I started learning. So my dyslexia to some extent was corrected because of her intervention. People ask me, why do you do so many things? I do so many things because I have not done anything before that. So then I was like, I have missed out on a lot of years. Now I need to start doing stuff and see what I like. Then I started pushing out to myself. So from not talking to anyone, if I can fix this, anyone can fix.
Amazing. What is your one message to the teachers?
The one message that I would say is that if I could look back, see, I studied for 4 years, 6 years in primary education. And if you're unable to diagnose someone who's being dyslexic, and if you're kicking out that kid for every single thing, and if the kid even doesn't know why they're being kicked out, it's pointless. So I'd say in a class of mixed batch, everyone will be good in something or the other. At least try to figure that out and don't make them feel bad that you are good for nothing.
For teachers who are teaching entrepreneurship, what is your message?
See, as you're already doing multiple sessions, you have taken multiple batches, as you also know that not everyone can be an entrepreneur. It is not something we can spoon feed to everyone. But the best thing we can do for the entire startup culture and the entrepreneurial society is that at least give them a taste of what it is to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Get them exposed to the core of any business or anything that is selling. Expose them to selling, show them what entrepreneurship is like. That's all we need to do.
What is your message to the parents?
So, in India, it's, we are often a country that where we first become doctors and engineers and then decide what to do with our lives. That is what most of us do. It's like a binary out, 0 or 1. Either you go here or you go there. The world has changed a lot in the past few years. It will rapidly change in the coming years. You never know what do you like unless you try.
Try.
Even when you make food in your home and the kid is saying that this food is, I don't want it, the mothers will say, you first try it, then you decide. When it comes to your career options and education, you don't get that. You're like, you go for this. So at an early age itself, expose children, expose kids to various options. It is not about losing 1 year after your 12th or losing 1 year after your graduation. Somebody might take up a job after graduation and see it doesn't work out for them, do something else. And the parents might feel that, oh, you're losing 1 year. If they don't lose this 1 year to like what they want in life, they're going to lose on the rest of their lives. So do you want this 1 year or do you want the rest of your lives? So let them try and figure out what they like.
I have been waiting for this. I want this for the students, sir. After this video, they should know the art of community building.
Okay.
And I also want to figure it out these technicals. You said that the community is managed over WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram. This community, I'll tell you my perspective. This community is an Instagram page. It started as an Instagram page, and that's right. So you started an Instagram page, time.grapher.
Yeah, initially we started a Facebook group, then the Instagram platform.
Okay. You, who were in this group? That guy, OLX guy?
Yeah, Nishad and Sham.
Nishad and Sham, real people, those are your followers and you follow them. How do you get more people? What did you post on that page?
And TimeGrapher. We started following different themes. We started doing that watches under 5,000, Indian watches that is available, Indian watches that is no longer available, watches for water sport, international brands that recently came to India, different kind of movements. What does this movement do? Let us say a 17 jewel HMT mechanical movement. What is the difference between a 21 jewel, 26 movement, 28 jewel movement? What does a officially certified chronometer by Rolex mean? So different topics we were covering that other people won't talk of. And these content were curated in such a way, it is going to be received only by people who are passionate about watches. there are a lot of trends we can follow to gain traction. Gaining traction was never the concept. The concept was that you reach the right set of people. Even if it is slow, doesn't matter. You reach the right number of people. You reach the right target audience. That was the thing that we always had in mind. In fact, if you look at any of TimeGrapher's post or activity or even following, you will never see TimeGrapher posting about me or TimeGrapher following me.
No one can even tell that you are the
Because
guys.
to me, it was never about me or what I want to do. It is what I want to do with the people.
Mission.
Who was your target audience?
People who are passionate about watches.
So these are lessons for us.
Yeah.
People who are passionate about watches, people who are passionate about technology, yet people who are open to interaction. So I've seen a lot of communities where people will be coming with one Rolex and they'll be like, I don't look at any other watches other than a Rolex. Right now in TimeGrapher, I can say that, so we are a community, we are selling our own watches. Other than that, we are one of the biggest consumers of watches among the entire Indian market. If I am supposed to put a number to how much worth of watches my community must have consumed in the last 1 year, it should be above 15 to 20 CR easily. And I'm talking about big ticket purchases all the way from a Rolex to watches worth more than 1 to 2 crores. And we have curated the community in such a way that a person who was coming with a 3 crore watch will sit with a person who is wearing a 500 rupee watch and he'll still appreciate that. It does not matter if you have a 50 crore collection. If you cannot appreciate the other thing, we don't want such a person over here. And that is why, if you look at our post also, we have ultra high-end events happening. At the same time, we have very normal meetups happening in a local coffee shop. I want that bandwidth. So that is what we target. And because of that, people support each other. A person who is wearing a 2 crore ka Richard Mille, who is appreciating a 500 rupees Casio, it's because he is that open. And such openness is what drives the community forward for new projects and new initiatives. So my target has always been people who has been open and who has an interest in watches.
And you started this over Facebook as a group. Your target was clear and you had posts going on with different topics that might interest your target audience. Then you started attracting people and your community grew. Online followers over Facebook and Instagram. You took the traffic that was coming as followers to WhatsApp. Through a scrutiny, that was these group channel heads. What do you call chapter heads?
Chapter heads.
Okay, and all of these people had one thing in common, that they are passionate about watches. And you saw all of your followers as real people, not as a number.
No. In fact, I would say that the 11,000 people we have right now, I would have interacted with all of them at least once at one point of time.
This is what community is.
If somebody tells me this guy from UAE, I may not be able to quickly recall, but I'll be like, okay, I remember. At least we spoke once. And I make sure that I do that. I don't want that the chapter is going organized. I don't know what is happening. I want to know what is happening on the ground. I want to know what is happening within the group. So that is one way I also try. And that takes a lot of time, because you need to talk with people. You need to interact with people. That will take a lot of time. But I think that is what brings everything together. In fact, for our new project that we are planning in the Middle East, I was in UAE. And that time one member came to me and he said, I came today only because you personally told me that this event is happening. So I have personally spoke to everyone. So then I told him this is a project that we are planning to do. And the first thing he said is that I work for the UAE Ministry of Culture.
Okay.
So when it is ready, you let me know, we'll partner with you guys.
Crazy quilt. I like this idea. Sir, we had 900 subscribers. That is not a number. These are real people. We have to find these people. Who are these? Who took the time to click that subscribe button? Who are these 80 people? 700 people? The people whom we have interviewed. We need to have a connect with them. Not just our podcasts. People who interviewed for Guess India. Prashant Dharawat, Kamal Kishore, Raj Jaswa, professor. These people joined for a reason. We have this thing in common, passion for entrepreneurship, passion for student entrepreneurship, Naarigha University.
In fact, every year Royal Enfield has an event in Goa called Rider Mania. Recently, it was named to Motoverse. And you know what is the policy of Rider Mania? Anyone who has a Royal Enfield can come for the event. 3 days, Enfield will showcase all their new developments. There will be various events based on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
There's something called motor ball, where you ride your motorcycle and play football. There will be track events, dirt events, evening there will be concerts. So this is from the attendees perspective.
Yeah.
From the company perspective, every single employee who is on the payroll of Royal Enfield should be there. So now what is happening? Let us say that 5,000 people register, and these 5,000 people are people who love the brand and who is very connected to the brand. Now these 5,000 people are seeing every single major stakeholder or decision maker in Royal Enfield or during that event. So they get to interact with the customers there directly, and the customers also feel heard. Which brand is going to connect me to their national sales head? So that bondness is there. It is no longer a customer transactional thing. It is like being an ambassador. We are also valuing you, you are also valuing us. It is like one big family. And that's the way their community works.
Bhaiya, one thing, I want you to connect us with someone from Royal Enfield.
Sure.
People who are doing it at a global level, and we would love to have you and the guy that you would bring to sit together and discuss TimeGrapher, because your inspiration was also Royal Enfield.
Yeah.
From a customer, you became an employee.
Yeah.
So we want to have a conversation with that guy. And beyond this, so curiosity is the key. We were discussing na, how do you talk? I was curious enough कि सर क्यों कर रहे हो आप ये? भैया ने इतना अच्छा कैसे बता दिया? वो कितनी अच्छी मैजिक ट्रिक थी. Everyone is curious, but I need that courage to ask and solve this question. वो मार देते हैं उस क्यूरियोसिटी को. सबके अंदर होती है कि हाँ पैशन वाला बात है ना. आपको वॉचेस पसंद थी. You were curious enough to go to OLX and find the real guy who's selling it. Then your love for moving parts, you grew this community beyond. तो curiosity is what builds. बस इस curiosity को कैसे foster करना है, automatically बच्चा कर जाएगा. How does he take that first step to solve his question that is in his mind? मैं कैसे बेचूं? डर लग रहा है, मैं कैसे जाऊं बाहर? मैंने इसके साथ काम नहीं करना. How do I bring and address those questions in a positive way? Question and answer, and you build a community of 11 people.
I'd say that is all about fostering from a very early age itself. So to me, I was dyslexic. Then I came to this. If this teacher wasn't there, my entire life would have gone in some other direction. I was very sure. In fact, she was my teacher in 5th grade, and she used to take us moral science and English. And she used to give us a creative writing session in 5th grade, where you can write a story. Recently, she lost all her memory. She's unable to recollect anyone. But I had seen her maybe 4 or 5 years back. She was telling me, do you know the stories that you used to write? I said, what happened now? He said, every time I give a different theme, you used to write the same story. He said, you never used to read the theme. You follow the same theme that I gave you first, and every class you used to write the same thing. But every time your story will be different.
Okay.
And she said, I never wanted you to stop that because you're doing something different. So that is why I even never told you that you're not following the theme, I will not give you a mark. As long as you're doing something different, I just wanted you to encourage.
So I think that's a lesson for all the enablers. And yeah, I've interacted with a large group of school principals in Delhi, and we had amazing week-long workshops with them. And the idea that the criticizing the startup idea that students bring and telling them, अरे इसमें तो business model ही नहीं है, अरे ये कैसे करोगे, अरे वो कैसे करोगे. And as teachers, we have not done it ourselves, right? We do our masters, we do our PhD, and we become professors. But to put off a kid who comes up with an idea and saying, no, ये तो नहीं होगा, ये कैसे होगा, business model कहाँ है इसमें? I've heard numerous teachers, enablers say this. For someone who is doing entrepreneurship full time, and if you're running an incubation center, right, this is fine. You are rejected, your idea cannot be admitted because there is no business model, it is not feasible, this, that. But if you are a teacher, if you're teaching entrepreneurship, if you're educating students, That is not the goal. So let's not look at the feasibility of idea. Let's encourage
Yes.
the fact that students are talking. That curiosity is there. Whatever idea there is, for example, if my 3-year-old falls down, I try not to pick him up. I say, it's okay, you stand up. Stand up on it, it's okay. And he's crying. And for her mother to see me not helping the kid, she's pained. She said, why are you not helping? But I'm saying, let him build the capacity to absorb this early age, right? So likewise, a kid, a student who is coming up with an idea, let's not tell them there is no business model to it. This is not the business that he's going to build. This is the very first idea. Let him explore this and figure out on his own that this will not work.
Yeah.
Be there to make sure he does not lose it so much that he can't move on to the next idea. So we need to support the curiosity. We need to encourage them to explore that creativity, explore that curiosity. And even if the idea is not workable, let them explore it, let them work it out.
Yep.
And then be there to tell them,
Yes.
okay, you have experienced it, let me nudge you now.
Yes.
Let me tell you how to do it or how to pivot and how. So I think in the classrooms, we need to do that. And now entrepreneurship education has been spread across the country. School level, from 9th grade, 8th grade, it has started in many states. College level, it is mandatory, almost like mandatory. All institutions, higher education, they have to have this. There's ranking based on entrepreneurship innovation across the country as well. So we have done this great. But in the classroom, what is happening? Are we rejecting them? Are we in an organized manner bringing students to the course of entrepreneurship and telling them you can't do it?
Yeah.
Or are we telling them do whatever you can right now because this is going to be your first venture? And let this first venture be contained maybe only to this course. So do whatever you can in this course. At least you taste it.
Yes.
At least you know how the process of building it, and then use this learning to build something else later.
Should be there. In fact, I have always thought of this idea that we should have a repository where students can just come in and put their ideas. So you'll have an individual block for each ideas. So imagine that I'm a VC or I'm a brand. If I click it, I see the idea. I can pay to get the entire detail. So then their name will come in that slab, the company who bought that idea.
Okay.
Then they can execute the whole thing using the skills. So it's like somebody just, it's like a whole place where I will know that my idea will not be judged. And just because you get a crush of my idea doesn't mean that you can recreate my idea.
So ideas are dime a dozen, and when I tell you an idea in 4 lines, if you and me, without talking to each other, build it parallelly, very different outcomes.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. And also this thing that, as we rightly spoke about earlier, it is not just about the money when you build something. It is about the value that impart.
Right.
If right now, if I'm supposed to take a valuation of TimeGrapher, I'm very sure that our entire profit and loss or profit statements and our revenue statement will give you one asset. But the valuation the TimeGrapher name carries will be 10 times more than the money I'm getting through my business. So that is what we should always look forward to.
Now I got the answer.
Okay. Shall we bring it to a close?
We should.
Okay.
You are tell students one thing.
Yes, that's what I was saying. Go ahead. Conclude it.
We talked about communities. The one thing that Sohan is best at is building communities, building relationships, and we'll continue these conversations over other matters. In Guess India also, we are trying to build communities. So you need to find people who are passionate and curious for the same thing. Start an Instagram page like you did. Start a Facebook page. Treat your followers as people.
Yes.
Create content with the target audience in mind. Don't complicate things. Target audience, you are trying to find people with the same interests. Just make content that you like and other people would also like it. And over the time, build connections with them. There's a reason why they click the follow button, why they click the subscribe button. Build connect over them. They have very dynamic lives. That could be a 22-year-old person or a 50-year-old billionaire. You don't know. Build connections, host events, and over the period of time, you don't know, your community would become 11K, and over the next 1 year it could become 1.1 million. And the more people that you have, I like the idea that I can only work for 2 hours. I will only work for 2 hours, but I will work for a longer period. I will connect with those people who will invest collaboratively, collectively those 2 hours, and that 2 hour becomes 2,000 hours, 2 million hours. And the community grows bigger, stronger, and everyone has a connect over it.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that has happened in all this while is that we have seen the transition after the geo internet boom, how the entire connected world and the social media has changed. You look at any influencer, their only goal is to increase the numbers. Let us say you have 1 million followers. So they'll be looking at how can I endorse a brand to make sure I get this much revenue from the leads from these people. Earlier, before the time of geo and all, well, I mean, before the time when internet was widely available, if you remember, people used to be very selective on who they follow. You follow a particular YouTube account or subscribe to an account because the content is so good. But now people have, the new generation, they're not even used to seeing it. They only know that a creator creates an account, pushes something, they make money. The value part they have never seen. It is not just about creating an account, increasing your followership. It is about creating the value with the end user.
Yeah.
It is adding some quality to their life that they are getting for without any
Yeah.
payments, without paying for anything. So we focus on that. That is it. Even I know that if I change my advertising or I change my content, I can reach 20-30K followers easily. But what is the point of having 30K followers who are not aligned and just there for numbers? You want people who you can call for an action.
Right.
So and steady.
Yeah. Great. So, yeah, let's conclude. I think the key takeaway, all that we've discussed so far, that points to one thing, which is user centricity. The challenges, that limitations that you are imagining, they're not real. The resources which you think are not there are all around you. Can you leverage them? Can you bring them to life? Can you take the courage to speak? Can you take courage? Can you muster enough courage to voice your mind, to bring your thoughts to life? Speak up. And for the teachers, let us teach less. Let us talk more to the students. That is how we will build a culture of entrepreneurship, a culture which encourages curiosity, which encourages creativity, which encourages students to build their first ventures. That is how we are going to build a community of people who are passionate about entrepreneurship. And all of us have, this common goal. I mean, the government is doing their bit. Institutions are also implementing it, but let's make sure we don't go wrong in the implementation. We are the last touch point as teachers, as enablers between, with the student, last touch point for them to take their first step. Let us make sure that we do not teach them, we do not shut them up. Let us make sure we give them a platform to voice their ideas, and let us enable them, let them take their first step and fail in your watch, so that when they fail, you can help them stand up again, take another shot at it, and be there as an enabler. We don't have to teach them. We just have to enable them become an entrepreneur.
I'm very glad that such a conversation happened in the first place, that, this is something that I always wished was there in our system. But nobody does it, nobody goes for the extra mile. And now both of you have taken all the efforts to make sure that this message is carried out to a lot more people. That itself is something really incredible. And the only thing I can relate to this is that my teacher who was teaching me back then, so I used to get, I was a very sensitive person after even after I started recovering from dyslexia and all. I used to get affected very quickly on things. Even if somebody is a bit, even if a teacher's tone changes, I start to question myself. Is it because I've done something wrong? Because I don't know a lot of things. So I used to pull back myself. There is one sentence she always told that I still remember. She said, you know, when it rains, all the birds take shelters. But the eagles, they don't. They fly above the clouds and avoid the rain. So it is not about pulling yourself back. It is about figuring out how you can still get back over there and you can get back on top of what you were doing. So that is something that has really pushed forward. And now when I see Guess India doing this, we're trying to reach out the message to a lot of people. I believe Guess India is going to be the same teacher who has advised me this quote. But now you are the carriers of the same message to millions of students who are watching this, reminding them that don't take shelter, just fly higher.
Amazing.
Thank you so much, Sombia, for coming. This was the first episode of part 2 of Cracking the Student Entrepreneurship. And I would like to end it with these words, that magic is not in his tricks. Magic is in him. That is what makes him a magician.
Lovely to you.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
so
much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.